How's it going, everyone? I'm Mongo, joined as always by Busa. This is Critical, and we thought we were going to have a lot more to talk about today. Uh, we're going to recap the PlayStation State of Play. Thank you to everyone that reached out to me at the end of that show. I appreciate it. It was a lot of you. I'm not kidding. It was like 6 people. It was great. We're going to talk about the stuff that was shown at Toy Fair, and we were literally just talking about this before we started recording. There's not like a whole lot that's of interest to either of us that I saw at least. And I stopped checking Toy Arc at one point in the day because I was like, everybody's kind of taking pictures of the same three booths. It's all like NECA, McFarlane, and fucking like it was basically just those, honestly. It felt like everybody was like really, really into taking I saw some stuff from Hasbro too, but it wasn't. I think every year when we do these Toy Fair episodes, I'm like, yeah, I didn't see a whole lot that really interested me.
Yeah, there was some stuff that I thought was cool. I mean, what I'm really liking currently is I don't really buy them too often, but like the crossover stuff I find is like really, really cool. I saw they had Turtles and Godzilla and Power Rangers.
Yeah, those are
And
cool.
yeah, I thought that was really neat. There's the stuff that like why didn't we have that when I was a kid, you know? Um but I thought those were interesting, but like I said, probably not something I'd actually buy. When it came to things like I'd actually purchase, yeah, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot at all.
Yeah, I didn't see anything from like what's the company that had the Bloodsport figures? It's Syndicate Collectibles, right?
Yeah,
Because they did
yeah.
the Double Dragon ones.
Hmm.
I haven't seen anything about if they were at Toy Fair. I was kind of hoping for an update on those Bloodsport figures, and they were teasing Law and Order figures, but this week Super Seven announced they've got the Law and Order license.
That's a funny one.
I mean, Super 7 are doing like everything in that Reaction Plus O-ring style.
Yeah.
Unironically, I would probably buy the entire like SVU and original Law and Order cast as GI Joe figures because that sounds hilarious.
Did you see those something we didn't talk about? Did you see those Contra figures? Those were really cool.
Yeah, yeah, those
Yeah.
are. I saw Metal Slug figures too.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
don't
Yeah.
remember who they were by,
No, I don't
but
remember either. I just saw them passing by and I was like, damn, those are pretty damn cool.
yeah, I saw that NECA because they've got the Friday the 13th license. Again, they're doing Jason Takes Manhattan Jason, but they're also reissuing the NES one.
Yeah, Jason Takes Manhattan's probably my favorite look of him. So I saw that and I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's what I want.
I know that movie kind of, sucks. He's really not in New York for the majority of the movie. But that like last little bit of him standing in like 1988 Times Square is one of the coolest fucking visuals ever.
Yeah, and him kicking the
The
boombox and
boombox.
everything surrounding that movie, like the Arsenio interview and stuff.
Yeah. And speaking of Arsenio, we finally saw the finished product of Arsenio Hall Macho Man
Yep.
from Zombie. Yeah, fuck. We'll talk about Toy Fair first because there's way more to talk about with PlayStation. I'm sure we'll go a million different places. So if you were interested in Toy Fair purely for wrestling figures, there's not a ton. Mattel didn't show. I don't think Mattel showed anything new except like Wave 3 of Street Fighter. We finally saw those like in plastic.
Mm-hmm.
The like Yokozuna is E Honda Wave.
Yeah, I
Um
really take that. I mean, that's an obvious one, and just the fact that it exists is really cool.
I kind of wish the Mawashi was black and the tights were like the E Honda towel pattern.
Yeah.
That's like a weird gripe, I know, but like the first time I saw that, I was like, invert those, and it's way cooler to me. I don't know why. Or like a white Mawashi with like the towel pattern on the tights too would look cool.
I didn't realize the outfit that Ray wears as Ryu is something that he actually wore in real life. There was
Yeah,
like
I don't think
a
I knew that either.
him and Creed and I think Selena Vega did like a Street Fighter 6 promotion, and that's what he wore for it. So that was neat.
Huh. I think that's it for Mattel. Like nothing. I mean, maybe we saw the heel turn Cena in plastic for the first time, but like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, there wasn't really much at all from them. It was what's the next big thing?
Mania Access.
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll have a
That and
lot more
Comic
there.
Con are the big ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually talking about that with a friend yesterday. Like most of the time, Mattel has had the license. They've not treated Toy Fair the way that we all got accustomed to Toy Fair being treated by like Jax.
Right.
Like you would always get like a smaller showcase. At least this is how I remember. You'd get a smaller showcase at Toy Fair, and then over the years, Comic Con has become a bigger and bigger and bigger deal. So where like at this point, you see that stuff in July, and that basically takes you up to like the first quarter of the following year.
Hmm.
So I wasn't expecting a lot at Toy Fair, and I wasn't really disappointed. Nothing. Nothing on the AEW side at Jazzwares. They might do something in the collector vault. You remember last year with like the ROH FTR.
I don't know if
I'm
you
not.
saw, but during an entrance on ROH, Dalton Castle said something like, "We were supposed to have Outrunners toys and Dalton Castle toys, but he said something like, but now we've got these T-shirts or something like that." And
Uh,
people saw that as a sign that the line was cancelled.
yeah, yeah. That's a pretty thinly veiled line.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I guess if they cancel Tanahashi, I'll get my $40 back.
I mean that's a hell of a way to go out if that's the last one they release.
Yeah. Not only is it like a figure that's 3 years outdated, which is par for the course with them, it's a guy that doesn't even wrestle for AEW.
Yeah.
Go Ace.
It's
Um,
funny though, saying, we've seen him with big rubber guys as well, and I know you're gonna talk about it, but seeing that Liger as well is like that's interesting stuff happening.
yeah, before we get to Zombie, we'll talk about Big Rubber Guys because they are continuing with AEW. There's an Orange Cassidy shown, basically in hands in the pockets, very Rick Rude, Grand Toys, which is
Yeah.
cool. Jushin Thunder Liger, he's kind of doing like the grappler pose, which if you're gonna do a posed Liger, that's pretty much the fucking one. Like there's no other pose that I think of when I think like my Storm Collectibles Ligers are both posed like that with the cape on. We saw the Warlord, the like metalhead Phantom of the Opera W Staff Warlord. That thing looks incredible.
Yeah, that's just a look that, definitely works for action figures.
Yeah. Have you ever seen? I know I've referenced it on the show before. Have you ever seen the Hogan promo hyping up the house show program with Warlord, where he calls him the wrestler of the '90s and the 2000s? I remember the first time I saw that promo, he was like going so hard, like putting Warlord over. I thought Hulk was about to be like, yeah, and I'm gonna let him make love to my wife. It was crazy. He was talking up Warlord the way people were talking up like fucking Brock Lesnar. It was ridiculous.
Jesus.
Like this guy's the next big thing, brothers. Even though he's been in the company for 3 years, he's been a tag guy for the majority of the time. Um, the weirdest one though is like they showed a Josh Barnett, and it's funny because Wrestling Figure News sent it to me. I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "That can't be Barnett." And I zoomed in. I'm like, the shoulder tattoo matches, the tights logo. Yeah, I think that says War Master. And then I sent it to you, and like right as you messaged me, I'm like, "Wait, the kick pads say Genome. That's 100% Barnett." And
Yeah,
I don't.
that's a funny one.
I I would be more inclined to buy like a Zombie Sailor figure.
I'm
I don't know that I need like an LJN style Josh Barnett.
I don't need any Josh Barnett to be honest, but yeah, I just thought that was a I don't know. Like I don't know if there's a market for a big rubber guys Josh Barnett. I suppose you can put him against the Latuni and Oki if you want to.
Ah, yeah, that's a thing that's still coming out at some point.
I think somebody somewhere had it and they were showing it off.
Huh. I know people got really mad that he kept the articulation from the Carapro figure, and
I just
a
think it's
lot of
funny.
people in the I do too. A lot of people in the comments thought that shit was like just heresy. How dare you? It's like he 3D scanned a figure with articulation, motherfucker. What did
Yeah,
you
what do you
expect?
exactly?
They're doing Princess Bride, Big Rubber Guys. And I feel the same way about the movie figures here that I do with Zombie doing movie figures. you're taking movie properties and doing them in a style that is specifically associated with wrestling figures. I don't know how wide of an audience you have beyond the people that collect those style. Like, you might get people to buy the Fezzik because people love Andre in that movie, but like McFarlane made like two of them, and they're like legendary shelf robbers.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know about
So
those. I think the thing with Zombie in that situation is that his retros that are licensed that aren't wrestling figures are so vastly different than what the Hasbro's were that you can get away with it. Like the again switching over to Zombie, but like the Ace Ventura figures that he showed, look completely different than the wrestling figures, right? Like the facial sculpts on them and stuff. So I think in that way you can get away with it. But like, yeah, the LJN style doing anything but wrestling just seems like sort of a waste to me.
yeah, because I know when they did Rambo, they were like, oh, in the style of '80s toys. No, '80s toys were like 5 inches tall, bud.
The one that would have made sense would have been Rocky, and the Stallone shop was doing that, and then we never really heard anything about it.
Yeah, we talked about this last time. I'm fucking super curious what was the deal with those and why those fell apart.
Yeah,
Um, they also showed the ECW, or I'm sorry, Extreme Big Rubber guys, like actual. I think they're factory samples. Raven looks great. Sabu looks great. I think it's really funny they did a Tommy Dreamer that's like an actual ECW merch shirt. It just doesn't have the ECW logo on the picture of Dreamer on the shirt.
yeah.
That's
That's
easy
another
enough to
thing.
decal.
That's another thing that's funny because like originally ECW only had one brand of action figures, and now you've got like these giant LGN inspired things. It's just a funny thing to think about where sort of those wrestlers sorted in figure form and where they're ending up.
And also remember they did major bendies and like wrestling collector
Yeah,
shop exclusives where the packaging was based on San Francisco Toymakers ECW Series 1, which is
yeah, that's right.
trippy as shit.
Yeah,
And they showed off a couple of Sergeant Slaughters. I know that like wrestling figure news seemed pretty hyped about those when he DM'd them to me, and I was just kind of like, eh,
I think the one
I
with
don't
the
really
helmet,
need.
the helmet one is pretty cool, but yeah, I don't need Slaughter.
Yeah, that was the one I thought looked better of the two, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's nice to see them doing new molds. They're not just repainting them like they did Flair in the suit jacket.
Mm.
But that one looks cool. But yeah, the big reveals as far as wrestling figures was Zombie. We saw what I'm assuming is Pinnacle Collection Wave 2. We had Bad News Allen, which we'd seen previously. He looks incredible. To his immediate right was Dino Bravo, which heavy parts reusage from Bad News because they're right next to each other. It's hard to ignore, but I don't parts reusage in modern like action figure lines. I don't give a shit. It's a way to keep costs down if the bodies look similar. This isn't a he gave Dino Bravo a Batista torso when he shouldn't have had it type situation. Like the torso looks perfectly fine for Dino Bravo. Bravo looks incredible. We saw New Jack, and at some point during the day, Zombie did a video for someone on Instagram actually putting the soft goods t-shirt on New Jack. It's the 187 t-shirt. So basically, Pinnacle Collection New Jack's a remake of the old ECW Thrill Zone figure, which is one of my favorite figures from that line.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, speaking of heavy parts reusage, we have One Man Gang rocking the King Kong Bundy body. All three of the heads for Gang, once we finally got decent looks at them, they're all good. My one concern with Gang though is he has the plastic singlet shell over a painted t-shirt on the torso,
Mm.
presumably painted. I
Yeah.
just worry about paint rub, but also I'm probably just gonna throw the fucking or keep the denim jacket on him. So what does it matter?
Yeah, the I didn't see the. I think you said it was hidden by the Jeff Jarrett, but the head with the bandana at first, so that was cool to see. There was no how we in the early '90s when he went to WCW, team of Kevin Sullivan, he had like the black around his eyes and like grew his hair. I would have liked to have seen that as a head. Um, but that's also like completely different than what he was going for. So I get it. But I mean, yeah, they all looked fantastic. You know, what can you say? I think Dino Bravo was kind of a weird choice for your second line, but it's cool. Whatever. You know, it was good to see. It was just good to see them, to be honest, because you know, it's been a while since we've seen anything at all from the Pinnacle line. We're still waiting on Series One to get in our hands. So yeah, it was cool to see.
So on note of Pinnacle Collection, Jeff Jarrett was expected at the warehouse by the 6th, with everybody arriving quote unquote shortly thereafter. I don't know where my friend pulled this from. He just sent me the quote. He didn't send a screenshot. I guess the expectation is the rest of the series is going to be in by the end of this coming week.
Okay.
So if that's the case and he starts shipping in late February, that's like far from the worst zombie delay. The problem is, and I think I said this to you yesterday, these figures look fucking incredible, and I'm tired of staring at the pictures. I want to stare at them in person.
Yeah, exactly. I think I told you I want. Maybe I mentioned this last week, but I want my Abby, and I want to. I was looking up electrified chairs, and I could only find ones for like 12-inch figures, which was kind of annoying.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Um, we did see some retros. Um, I guess he signed Joey Janela years ago, and he's finally doing a Joey Janela.
hmm
We finally saw the Pillman retro. That thing looks amazing.
Interesting that he went for the you know, the sort of 96, 97 non-wrestling look.
Yeah, I remember when the sketch first came out for him, I was like, oh, that's a choice.
I
And
I
then,
think
like,
I think now we're
fun.
like we've done the loose cannon. Like we've got Mattel figures, we got Mattel wrestling and backstage street clothes figures. We've got the same from Zombie now. It's like I'm feeling about loose cannon Pillman like I am Halloween Havoc Eddie Guerrero, and I'd like to
Yes,
see some more Flying Brian around.
agreed. I'm glad that we're getting the two that Zombie are doing, though, because, like, we had
Yeah,
no fucking chance of Mattel doing a good, like, Rogue Horseman ECW debut Pillman.
yeah.
But yeah, like, I would like to see some more early 90s Pillman for sure. How about, like,
Even
a good
like
Hollywood Blondes one?
yeah, but even like Nitro debut Pillman when he went back to like the tights, and but he still had like like the it was like pre Horseman look where he had grown out his beard. Well, it was post Hollywood Blondes. Like even something like that would be cool. It's just that all we see from him now is the loose cannon. I'm like, oh, can we just get something different? Like,
It's frustrating because that kind of did get canonized as, like, the definitive version of Pillman.
yeah,
And I get it, but it's not like it's not the most interesting version of him to me.
yeah, and it's you know the Flying Brian and stuff, especially like the early '90s when he first came in, is like such a different person, right? So that's why you want to see something else other than the loose cannon, which like just dominates Pillman's. I mean, don't I understand why? It's just like you know when I first started, he was being cut Flying Brian, so it's just something I'd like to see more of.
Agreed. Also, I referenced it. We saw the Arsenio Hall Macho Man. We saw an on card and a
Yeah.
loose sample. I cannot even begin to imagine what the fuck the paint cost on that figure was. Like that we talked about it with Jarrett a bunch over the years, especially once we saw like the painted prototype. He's really going for like looks on some of these guys that are so high cost for the deco that Mattel would never attempt them. So like you want like that late 94 Jarrett attire, you're only getting it here. If Mattel does it, it's not going to look like this. You want Arsenio Hall appearance Macho Man, it's not going to look like this when Mattel makes it. Like
Yeah.
the paint apps are insane on this. I'm 100% buying this one. The carding looks really cool on it. We saw the Brooklyn Brawler retro, which um, looks to have some reuse from the Pillman. No, the jeans are different. The jeans are definitely different. But like seeing Brawler finally, like that sketch went up like 5 years ago. We saw like a factory plastic sample of Masato Tanaka, so those are probably on the way pretty soon. We saw King Mabel,
Mhm.
which was pretty neat. Again,
Ultimo
we saw Joey
Dragon.
Janela. Yep, Ultimo Dragon was there. We saw like a black and white stripe T-shirt Earl Hebner, which was, if you remember, when he initially revealed Hebner, there were the two different sketches, and he asked which one people wanted first, and everybody unanimously was like, "Fucking blue shirt." If we're really going for the Hasbro look here, it's got to be that one.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're getting that, and also
I didn't
right in the
see that
middle of the
actually.
case, huh?
I didn't see that, Habna. I must have missed it.
Oh, in the video I sent, the one where it starts off with like a shot of Arsenio Macho Man as he's
Okay.
going across the retro shelf. It's like you see King Mabel, you see what I'm convinced is CM Punk with a clothesline body, and
It
then
looked like it
Hebner's
to
like
me.
right behind Punk.
Okay.
Yeah, like the head looks way too much like CM Punk to be anybody else, unless.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's got taped hands and kick pads. Like that's got to be Punk, which makes me wonder, like, how many figures did he sign Punk for, or does he just have the ability to make Punk figures for like years? Which would make sense because he never mentioned it being a one and done like Gargano was.
Right. My feeling is that's probably like the Savage tribute Punk. Like if
Mm,
you're releasing Savage, I think that makes the most sense. But we'll see.
yeah, I don't have any real interest. I'll say this though, I wish that was the Punk that he did first, because even in unpainted form, that head sculpt looks way better than the original one, and the pose looks way better.
Hmm.
But I don't give a shit. You mentioned Ace Ventura. I'm not gonna lie, it's been probably since like 1997, 98 since I've seen that movie. So I don't remember the context for like the two figures that aren't just him and like the shirt with the undershirt.
Um. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen those movies as well. I'm imagining that they don't hold up very well. But I thought it was just interesting. Like, did he? I don't even know how that would work. Like, do you have to speak with Jim Carrey in that situation, or like does this does it just come with the IP or like his likeness? I don't know.
Yeah, that I'm not sure. Okay, so one of the guys that does like major photography, he has like way better pictures up of the. I'm sending it to you on Discord. He has way better pictures up of these, and he also has a video going across the retro shelf. The figure we think is Punk is absolutely CM Punk.
Yeah, there's
There's
that
fucking
Shane
nobody else that
Douglas.
could be. Right,
Yeah,
Scorpio's there too, so that's another figure from the ECW wave. I also think it's really funny that the Pillman and King Mabel are the paint masters, so they're like an inch taller than everything else on the shelf.
let's take a look here. Oh yeah, these pictures are way better.
Janela and CM Punk clearly using the same body.
That's
Dude,
that
Bravo is so good.
I'm glad that the gang head has like sculpted on glasses because I hate glasses on action figures that like aren't
I don't
sculpted
think
because
those
they
are.
are they not?
The so like look at the left ear, the one like the one side's like
Okay.
kind of hanging off. I thought the same thing until I saw this picture actually.
Why would you give it another head then? Because it doesn't look that much different than the default one that's on there.
I think the default one is him doing the and the. I mean, he's got a bandana one where he's basically doing the same thing. So,
Yeah, but at least the bandana is something different.
oh no,
Is that
that's what
not
I mean. Like
is that
the
sculpted?
bandana sculpted on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I like to your point. Like I kind of think maybe should have just done that neutral head with the glasses on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see that happening now.
That new Jack is so much better than anything Mattel is going to put out.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And the fact that he comes with the staple gun as well is really cool.
I I was resigned to just collecting other stuff this year, and then I see these, and I'm like, No, the two of everybody per series thing is still alive and well here.
It's just really funny seeing New Jack standing next to Dino Bravo.
Yeah, and it's also really funny. Series 1 is like three. You could argue it's three WWF guys and then Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
Series 2 is three 80s WWF guys and then there's New Jack.
Yeah, fits like a glove, right?
Yeah, I'm curious if he's gonna have any more stuff in the case because I popped up Instagram and sure enough, he took a picture and he has like the booth number. So I feel like anything's possible, but I also feel like
Wait, just saw a comment. The skin color from Shane Douglas is wrong. It's definitely not.
on the retro.
Yeah, that's what the first comment I see on this Instagram.
No, he
Nah,
was
nah, he was like
that's definitely as tan as he was.
exactly, yeah.
Look at that Candido. I don't hate the idea of Body Donna's Candido. I think we talked about that back when he, hinted that it was coming. But like, man, where's the Pinnacle Candido and the Pinnacle Douglas and Francine while we're at it?
Yeah, it's kind of awkward seeing Candido like that without Sonny, but obviously you don't want Sonny, so
Could you even license her now? Like, how would that work? She's in prison for like another, what, like 8 years minimum?
uh I have no idea. She should be in for the rest of her life. She killed someone, so
Yeah, I
um
agree. But this is America where life sentence doesn't really mean life sentence,
yeah,
sadly.
I maybe you do a Cloudy instead of a Sonny and just say that's good enough.
I do wonder, like, when do we get more of the, like, we know Raven's coming.
Hmm.
If it were me, series 3 would be all ECW. I would legit do Raven, Awesome, Douglas, and Candido. And the only reason I say Douglas and Candido in the same wave is I still have the ECW Bam Bam that Mattel did. We're probably never getting a
Yeah.
Bam Bam from Zombie. So, like, if we can get the other two and Francine, this is the closest we're ever going to be to having the triple threat represented in one form factor together.
Yeah, and you have an opportunity with the Douglas to have like yeah, you could have the ponytail, and then you can probably have the short hair and the goatee because I imagine he probably wore the same attire for those two different looks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he does he adapt the long tights at the very end of his ECW run, or is that WCW?
ACW because it's when the Impact players beat him up.
Right, and he has that match with Just Incredible at CyberSlam that I remember people giving 5-star ratings to. And when I watched it, I was like, this match kind of sucked.
Yeah,
It's
Shane
not Shane
Douglas
Douglas'
really.
fault.
Honestly, I attribute the haircut with Shane Douglas like going down in quality.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those. He's a guy that I really wish the injuries didn't pile up on, and also that they did introduce him to fucking OxyContin. And I'm not being funny when I say that.
Yeah.
He basically cites that for a lot of the problems he had, and I remember listening to the Between the Sheets ECW on TNN special, and they were reading Dave's recap of the first episode, and he talked about, like, they show Shane Douglas, like when they do the title history package, they show Shane Douglas in '94 and they show him in '99, and I never thought about this until they read that, and I went back and watched the episode. Shane Douglas ages like 20 years in the span of 5. Like, he looks like he's in his 50s by the time you hit like early '99. Like, he was like still like really baby faced in like '94, '95, and by the time you hit the end of the '90s, he looks like an old man.
Yeah, it was a rapid age growth.
And it's a shame because I've said it a bunch of times on the show. Shane Douglas in '96 is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. He is awesome that year. And some of it is just because I think after breaking the one Pitbull's neck, him putting people in full Nelsons and like ragdolling them and shit, that's fucking hilarious. I don't care. That's like, that's one of the funniest fucking things a wrestler has ever done. Like, it's so stupid and mean.
Yeah.
But also, like, the 4-way match at Heatwave 96. Everybody loves that match. He has a really good match with Pitbull number 2. There's a match with Jericho from Ag Hall where the WWF used to do their TV tapings on one of the unreleased ECW sets. And I'm not saying this just to shit on Chris Jericho because I think he kind of sucks, but it's like no worse than like the third best Chris Jericho match I've ever seen.
Hmm.
And it's like probably not even in my top 10 for Douglas in 96. He also has the match with Scorpio at A Matter of Respect, which is a fucking phenomenal piece of business. Great promo too, honestly.
Yeah, just
Like people,
ask Triple H about that.
yeah. He stole fucking everything from Shane. I know Shane's got a video like, did Triple H steal my gimmick? And I've had so many people tell me to watch it because like Shane's just like, he's like surgical in like the little subtle jabs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And for all the things I could say about Shane Douglas, he's not a dumb guy.
No.
Like he's good at communicating a point. So I need to watch that video. And I never considered the game being a ripoff of the franchise until I saw his U shoot for the first time. And somebody was like, hey, yeah, so how do you feel about Triple H basically stealing your shit? And I was like, he puts the hat on and he starts like cussing a lot more. And he starts talking completely differently than he did a couple of months earlier. The franchise, the game. Yeah, no, he really fucking did.
It's actually really funny when you go back and watch it.
The one promo at on Heat the night of like Fully Loaded 99, he's trying so hard to be Shane Douglas. Like basically the game Triple H is like if Shane Douglas was a bad wrestler.
He should really have like adapted yellow into his attire to make it super obvious.
Oh god. I mean, thinking back, like I remember somebody, and this is like a weird memory that just got unlocked. I remember somebody doing a black and yellow BCA Triple H custom and not getting why somebody did that. This is like the AFR days. So this is like late 2000, early 2001. I went back through the archives on that board and saw that picture, and now I understand it. Holy shit. Right, Toy Fair. There was some stuff McFarlane showed. I have to say this. I saw the NBA figures. I don't know who greenlit or approved those LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo figures. Giannis looks like fucking James Harden. I have no idea whose head that is on the LeBron James body. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander kind of looks like him. The basketball ones are not nearly as good as the hockey ones. I imagine the football ones will be better. And also, the basketball figures being the worst of the bunch kind of tracks because historically the basketball sports picks weren't quite as good as the football and the baseball and the hockey ones anyway. But I was very disappointed when I saw those. McFarlane's also doing these like little constructive figures that are basically like mini mates, but you assemble them and apply stickers yourself. He's doing them for Spawn. He's also doing them for excuse me, the NFL and the NHL. I'm assuming MLB and NBA are going to get that treatment too. I know they showed some DC stuff that looked cool. I'm blanking on the stuff that I liked yesterday, but I saw some stuff. I was like, oh, that's cool.
They showed
It's
some
too close.
stuff, but not too much. Again, not what you would expect. But they showed the Superman Returns figure, and I was like, it's not the best. I think the face kind of looks a bit cheap, but like Superman Returns and 2026, and plus I've got like all the other Superman, so yeah, I'll take it. I need a George Reeves next, and then I think I've got like pretty much everyone. So yeah, it was kind of cool. Yeah, that DC stuff. I don't even remember what they showed. Like, they didn't show the Nicholson inspired Joker that's coming out, right? They didn't show
No, that kind of shocked me.
Yeah, they didn't show any Supergirl stuff. What did they show from DC?
They did show Batman the animated series figures, which
right, yeah.
We still don't know what exactly the DC Direct part of McFarlane's license deal includes. I'm assuming it's those. Superpowers are coming back, so I'm assuming those are part of DC Direct.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Beyond that, I don't have a goddamn clue what he's
No,
gonna.
there really wasn't much at all.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
So there's pictures from the Mattel booth. It looks like they're doing vehicles, but I don't know if these are meant for the 6-inch, like the basics line they're doing, or if these are something smaller.
I don't know. I think I did remember hearing about vehicles as well.
Yeah, there's like a little Batmobile that like Robin's gimmick links into. Yeah, these are for 6-inch figures for sure. Like seeing somebody actually handling those. Yeah, I don't understand how people say this kids line looks like shit or the basic line looks like shit. These are better than like what they were trying to pass off as like the more premium DC figures the last time they had the license.
Yeah, they look fine to me. I don't like that Batman design, but I like the Flash. I think it looks pretty cool.
I like the Series 1 Batman.
The grey one with like the yellow outline, orange outline logo. Was that the
No,
one, or
that's
is
the
it the
Series
blue
2
one?
one.
Right. Yeah, the blue one's fine. It's the orange outline logo I really do not care for.
So the only hint at the Elite line that they have is a sign at their booth that says premium collector product coming 2027. But it's also like right next to the little case that has the life-size props.
Right.
So yeah, there's not really like any solid hints of anything. I'm guessing, like I said, when we talked about the initial reveal at Nuremberg or wherever the fuck, San Diego Comic Con feels like the obvious place where we're going to see the premium collector stuff. And that's either going to be like, holy shit, these are amazing, or everybody's going to owe Todd McFarlane an apology. There's not going to be any middle ground on these, I feel like. I
Yeah,
want
we'll
these to
see.
be good.
Yeah. Um, I know you didn't like the Mortal Kombat figures that he showed.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, no, let me get this the fuck out of the way. So, one of my friends sent me a thing where a toy company was like, oh, we know Mortal Kombat was previously unavailable, but they're due to negotiations, they're open for licensing again. I sent that to you and I was like, I need Storm to do the fucking thing. And then we saw at Toy Fair, so we're getting Mortal Kombat 2 Johnny Cage. That's cool. I don't think that version of him's ever been done. My problem came with every other figure shown. We're getting a Mortal Kombat 1 Airman, which makes no fucking sense because he's not in Mortal Kombat 1. He never makes an appearance in that fucking costume until like maybe Mortal Kombat 9 as like a DLC. So immediately, just fuck that. We're getting Ice Clone Sub Zero based on Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, where he doesn't have the fucking Ice Clone. So I'm pretty sure that's introduced in 3. We're getting a clear reptile figure. Because at this point, we're just reusing molds and repainting shit. We're not fucking making anybody new. I'm pretty sure the Johnny Cage features a lot of fucking parts from Liu Kang. I'm pretty sure the torsos and the upper arms are similar. They might have done different lower arms. I think the legs might be new. But like, here's Noob Saibot. Great. Another figure using the fucking ninja body. Here's Ermac, who doesn't look like this in any of the games in the classic series. And here's Jade, which is a repaint of the two other women ninjas. And it's like one of the things about Mortal Kombat is you can repaint characters a million different ways because obviously palette swaps is how that works. You should not have that be 90% of your offering from the fucking start. Like those repaints should be peppered in among the other new characters. Where's Jax? Where's Baraka? Where's Sonya and Kano from Mortal Kombat 1? Because they're in the background in 2. Where's Kintaro? Where's Shang Tsung? Where's Shao Kahn? Where's Kung Lao? Like, where are any of these characters? Oh, wait, those all require new tooling. My bad.
Yeah, that Ermac really is kind of strange because It is like the what is it? It's an MK2 design, right?
I think he uses the same body for MK1 Sub Zero. He just changes the head.
Yeah, it's sort of I think it's MK2, but they didn't really have the like the patterns on the chest piece because they probably couldn't animate it like that at the time, I'm guessing.
The
Um
resolution wasn't high enough. Yeah.
yeah, so his first appearance was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 when they had changed the designs um to be more like God, I wouldn't even know how to describe them, but
The on the two sides, it's like how do I put this? There's like the fucking split down the middle. They don't. It's not like a robe kind of thing. It's like the top is
I
like split down the middle, and you have like the three color pieces on each side. Everything else is black. The wristbands are different. The tights are
yeah,
different. The fucking loincloth is different.
it,
It's a
it,
completely different look.
yeah, it's different, but I'd almost say it's like a more up to date, more modern version of what the classic designs were. And that's definitely
Yeah,
not what's represented in this figure. This figure is definitely not Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, so the whole idea of it is quite strange. I do like the noob, to be honest. I just think like noob's a cool character, and I
he
think
is.
the design that they have is he's even cool. I played the Chaos Realm DLC for Mortal Kombat 1, and noob was still pretty cool, and that so I was happy to see that. Um, the Johnny Cage, what really gets me about that is that it's obviously not the actor from Mortal Kombat 2. I forget his name.
Daniel Pacina.
Yeah, and it's just the face is so different that it's kind of jarring when you remember what he looked like in that game. Um, is that an MK2 or an MK trilogy, or is that the same? Just a
No,
different face.
trilogy. He has different
Yeah, the
wrist
gloves,
gauntlets
right?
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. So
and
yeah,
I think the pants and the shin guards are different too.
yeah. So the face isn't working for me really. I mean, the hairstyle's different than sort of what you see. Um, yeah. It's kind of it's a shame. There's a lot more that could have been done with this line.
Yeah, my biggest problem with Noob is just that there's so many other characters that needed representation in this line first.
Mm.
And you know what this Johnny Cage looks like now that I'm looking at another picture of it? It looks like they put like the modern Johnny Cage head onto Mortal Kombat 2 Johnny Cage.
Yeah,
Not good. Also, looking at the pants, no, those are probably just the Liu Kang ones. So yeah, basically just a Liu Kang figure. That's wonderful. Get the most out of your molds and everything, but like when you see what Jada and Storm are doing at a similar price point, there's no fucking excuse for this. Mortal Kombat deserves better. Oh, the Mortal Kombat art book came in at the comic shop, and I didn't want to be the guy that places an order for something and then says, no, I won't take it. But I stood there with the comic shop guy for a minute and I talked to him like, yeah, there's a bunch of AI bullshit in here. And he's like, oh, Jesus. And I was like, yeah, and it was really nice of them to not let people know until after the book came out when the first person got it and was like, hey, what's wrong with this picture of Sub Zero from Mortal Kombat 2? And the guy was like, well, I appreciate that you didn't want to like, stick us with the book. And I was like, I like coming up here. I don't want to lose my privilege. So like it is what it is. Um, but yeah, like the Legacy collection could have been better. I like it for what it is. It's cool. But like they still haven't fixed the frame input delay. And I know that they were like, well, this is true to how the original games were. And there's something to be said about, being accurate in terms of like game preservation. But also when I can run all of these games at 60 frames per second on emulation and you know it's not that hard to do,
yeah,
maybe the Legacy collection should do the same fucking thing.
yeah. I remember somebody saying like they were data mining, and they said there was like a bunch of like hidden features or something, and they wouldn't elaborate on what it was. So maybe there'll be an update eventually. I don't know. Um, the frustrating thing about that book is that there was another like fan made one that was looked really detailed and cool. So and that was not allowed to be released. So I find that to be The most frustrating of all.
Yeah, like it's crazy to me how much better care Capcom takes care of Street Fighter in terms of generally making sure that the licensed goods are of like reasonably high quality. And then like you look at Mortal Kombat historically and it's like fuck me, man.
Yeah.
Like we got those cool GI Joe figures. I loved the Infinite Concepts figures that came out. Those are all super expensive now. The Palisades ones were kind of cool. And then it was like we had the Jazzwares line with the other Jazzwares line. Mezco did MKX figures. McFarlane has basically had a stranglehold on the license for years now. The Storm figures were there for anybody that were willing to pay the premium, and those are the actual best Mortal Kombat figures. But like, it's been rough wanting to collect Mortal Kombat stuff, man. It's in the comics are like a mixed bag too. Like the old Malibu ones from the '90s are apparently pretty good. I've only read like two of them, and I don't really remember much about them. But like, I have the DC MKX tie-in, and that shit is. You know, I say it. I'm about to say it's not good, but it's infinitely better than the actual story of MKX or 11 or 1. And ironically, in terms of 1, the story of the MKX tie-in comic was centered around Havoc.
They did a good job of him
The-
in the DLC. I like his look.
I just, I hate that
Have
game.
Have you played that DLC?
No, the game crashed on me like 3 times, and I had to call PlayStation to get a refund because like I bought the premium edition of the game, and it kept locking up on me. And the person from PlayStation tried to argue with me. Well, there's no crash logs, and I'm like, bitch, I have like photographic evidence on my cell phone. Would you like to see it?
It's basically like the Running Man, but it's run by Havoc. That's how I guess I would describe it.
I've seen the cutscenes. I just haven't played it. I'm scared for what the future of that franchise is under Netflix, if there's even a future for it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the third movie was supposed to have already been like confirmed by WB, but that could obviously change. It depends on how the second one's going to do. Maybe it'll just exist as like a movie franchise. That would be kind of crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would suck. Um, I mean, there's the fact that Warner Brothers has owned Mortal Kombat for it's like what 17 years this year, and we haven't had like a Mortal Kombat ongoing comic for the entirety of that time. That is insane.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, when they got Mortal Kombat, they said even David Zaslav when he bought it, he's like Mortal Kombat is the top priority, but like outside of the
Yeah,
main series, there hasn't been anything like a Shaolin Monks type game. There hasn't been, as you said, comics. The figures, it's just McFarlane. They never seem to take advantage of it. It's always the same stuff over and over again.
I saw somebody once describe Warner Brothers as a gold mine disguised as a landfill, and if you look at the way they treat a lot of their like intellectual property, like yeah, that tracks. You could have made so much money off of like Mortal Kombat has like this is gonna sound like hyperbole, and it's not. Mortal Kombat has potential to be as like sprawling a series in terms of like multimedia opportunities. It's like fucking Star Wars. There's like 10 different realms. Each are unique. Each have characters that are from there. You could build out fucking like the Order realm if you wanted. There should be like an entire wing of DC Comics that's like just dedicated to doing Mortal Kombat books. And there's not because I don't fucking know. I refuse to believe a Shaolin Monks comic wouldn't sell. I refuse to believe a Scorpion series wouldn't sell. I refuse to believe a Sub Zero series wouldn't sell.
And we've seen them in animation, right? Like we saw,
Yeah,
essentially the Scorpions. The first movie was like a Scorpion movie. Yeah, definitely you could do that. But also in like television and stuff too. Like after the first movie, I was like, you could easily do like a Shaolin Monk series, and I thought that'd have been something they would have looked into, and they never did. So I don't know. It's just wasted potential all the time.
I need Discotech to license Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm because I need a whole new generation to fucking watch that show and realize that honestly the narrative around it is kind of bullshit. It is not a bad show. When the whole idea is you're trying to adapt Mortal fucking Kombat for like Sunday mornings on USA, that show's about as good as you're gonna get.
I keep trying to watch Conquest and I don't make it, but I like. There's some things about it that I like. I like that the dude that played Raiden was apparently so infested he also played Shao Kahn. I think that's kind of crazy. Uh, I want to see Ming in it. I know he's in an episode.
I've tried to watch Conquest and I just fucking can't.
Yeah, I the same thing. But I mean, the fact that they took a chance and made a TV show was pretty cool. You know?
Yeah. Oh, also, one last note on Toy Fair. Earlier this week, Hasbro did a live stream for Marvel Legends where they revealed that the next Maximum figure is in fact Thor, which means whoever is leaking these Maximum figures is batting 1,000 because they've not only gotten them right, they've gotten them right in order.
Mm-hmm.
Thor looks fucking incredible. He comes with Throg, the little frog fucker. He has his own little Mjolnir. It's great. Swappable heads with the hairpiece gimmick from the Mattel Lex Luger that I complained about, but this doesn't look nearly as bad. I saw an articulation test video from Toy Fair. This basically has everything I would want from a Thor figure, and I don't currently have one because I missed out on the 80th anniversary one, and I'm not paying secondary market prices for it when it's probably going to be the same price, if not more expensive than this. So I'll probably end up grabbing Maximum Series Thor, but if we're believing the leaks, which at this point we probably should, next up is probably Black Suit Spider-Man, which I would be very, very surprised if it's not just a repaint of the original Maximum Spider-Man.
Yeah, probably. I'd imagine so.
Yeah, get the most out of your molds, but that's kind of lame. The other big piece of news for this week, obviously, was the PlayStation State of Play. And I feel like anybody that listens to the show wants to just hear me get to the point. We'll talk about everything else, but we'll talk about God of War. So I expected, because God of Vania, if it's real, that's probably not good enough to be the one more thing that would probably upset a bunch of people. And then it was the one more thing. They buried it behind the announcement that the Greek trilogy is being remade, which is great. I need them to not fuck with the gameplay. If you want to take all the boobies and sex out of the game, I think that's kind of lame because people have looped back around to thinking that stuff was actually kind of beast.
Oh,
But like,
please
you
don't do that.
cannot,
I don't want to read the discourse if they take all that stuff out.
you can't fuck with the gameplay. What makes those games what they are is how fast, frenetic, violent, crunchy, and just over the top the gameplay is, and also that game gives you a million different ways for self-expression through combat and I'm sorry if there's any Norse era fans listening to this, those games don't give you the ability to do that. Those games basically are like, here's baby's first From Software game, and that's not even bad, but I need God of War to play like God of War. I don't want God of War to play like anything else if it's a 3D game. So while I was like fists in the air like fuck yeah we won, I'm also a little cautiously optimistic. I'm hoping that they get the right people in position to make that, because I'll buy all of them. I'll do it.
Well,
And then, go on.
I wish you hadn't talked about like possibly removing stuff because now I can already see the hashtag God of Walk in my head. Like I don't want.
I mean, people did that for the fucking Norse games. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I was
Those
wondering.
people don't count.
I'm wondering if they did do that for that, but yeah, I'm like the voice actor was pretty cool. He was very charismatic, and I like that.
Yeah, TC Carson's fucking cool as shit. And then he threw it to God of War: Sons of Sparta. So this is the part where I get into the fact they shadow dropped the game. I bought it. I've played 3 hours of it. I did not see as much of the discourse about the graphics and shit as I thought I was going to, but it was still there. I've seen it's a 16-bit game. No, it's not. Find me a 16-bit system that could do these graphics. You can't. Stop being fucking stupid.
When they first showed it, I was surprised that the sprites were small. Like I thought when they first showed it, I mean, they had the cameras pulled back all the way, so that like the sprites were quite small, and I was like, oh, that's strange. I was expecting to be like more over the top and bulkier and stuff, but I mean, they're kids, right? Or, if
Yeah.
not kids, like younger. So and then it went on. I was like, oh, okay, looks cool.
So this is a prequel to the series. You're playing as Kratos. He's a kid. Obviously, Deimos is in the game as well. Which that was also in the original leak. Nobody mentioned that it was this. It was just before Kratos became a god. So I was like, it could still be Blades of Chaos Kratos. But we get Kratos with the Spartan spear. He looks exactly like he did in the cutscenes in Ghost of Sparta. So does Deimos. They actually got the voice actor back for young Kratos. A lot of things I love about this game. One, I do love the art style. When the leaker on Reset Era said basically it's God of War cross Blasphemous, I get what they mean by that, but this doesn't look quite like Blasphemous. It looks much closer to Blasphemous than the better art style than Hades, which I don't. They don't look anything alike. There's no comparison. So Mega Cat Studios of WrestleQuest fame, hi WCW Worldwide. They were the developers. Apparently, they were the ones that pitched the game to Sony Santa Monica. Sony Santa Monica were the ones that wrote the game. Apparently, they had heavy oversight, which is good. The writing team, I'll get into that. There's a couple of things I'm not in love with, but they have a tool to take the 3D animations and then make them work in 2D and then do pixel art over the 3D animation data, which is why when you see like the Minotaurs, they swing the axe and it looks exactly like the attack from the PS2 games. The Legionnaires, all of their stuff basically looks exactly like it did in the PS2 games. It is a very, very pretty game. Like the backgrounds are all stunning. My favorite thing about the way they frame the story, though, is it's Kratos telling his daughter about like a story from his childhood. My one negative thing, though, is I'm pretty sure if I look at the screenshot I took last night, I think he's fucking Pale Man Kratos here, which doesn't make any sense because oh no, he's just under the tree and that's the shade. His skin tone's the same as his daughter's here. Okay, so this is obviously before he kills his family by accident because Ares tricked him. But I love, huh?
Oh, I just said spoilers, but it came out forever ago, so never mind. Keep going.
They'll occasionally break in with his daughter asking questions and Kratos responding, and he's very much like Dad of War here. But also, this is Kratos like before the rage consumed him because he fucking killed his family and realized he got played by Ares so that he could be a servant that was untethered to like his fucking family or whatever and fully serve the gods. And it's really interesting to see that Kratos has a lot more patience for his daughter than he seems to for that dumbass kid that he has in the Norse games. The gameplay's fun. It does feel a little bit like Blasphemous. It's a lot of rolling through enemies and counterattacking and upgrading your weapons. You save at campfires just like you do in Blasphemous, just like you do in the FromSoft game. The sound is incredible. Like a couple of those areas you go through have really good music. My two key gripes are one, the game stops a lot for dialogue in a way that a lot of Metroidvanias I've played kind of don't. Like there were segments I played where it was like take 5 steps, go off a screen, take 5 steps on new screen, and here comes Deimos. We have like a little 30-second back and forth. And then I get like a minute and a half of gameplay, and then there's another little bit with Deimos. That kind of is jarring, not only for like Greek God of War, but just for the genre. But it's not bad. The bigger problem I have with the writing is that everything's a little too cute. It's a little too MCU at points where like people are just kind of being smartasses. Which, granted, the main characters are kids, but there's like 2 little monkey guys that are just like, "Oh, you're the little orc fellows from the Norse games that are here to be the comic relief," and they're not funny, like at all. You get powers like you do, obviously, in the other God of War games. You don't get like any of the ones you would know. Like you don't get fucking Poseidon's Rage or Chronos Fury. There's none of that. But the powers you do get are kind of cool. It's also fun to see what effect they have on different characters. Because I didn't think the little fireball things would take a couple of the enemies down as quickly as they do, but they sure do. And you get a little thing that like refills your health if you press up on the D-pad, and there's like these rocks around the game world where like you can hit them to refill like your magic, your spirit meter and your health meter. So once you get the little gimmick to refill your health, if it's running low, you just run up and like hit one of those rocks a bunch to refill your health meter fully, and you keep hitting it, it'll refill your little like health or canteen thing. The upgrading is a lot like modern games. There's a skill tree for everything. I kind of wish it was just pay your blood orbs, get a thing like the old games. I guess it still is. I just don't like seeing skill trees at this point. It feels a little bit played out in terms of how we handle character progression in video games. But like so far, I don't have any real like major fuck this game gripes. From everything I've heard about Mega Cat Studios, there's a strong likelihood this is the best video game they've ever put out. Which feels like damning it with faint praise.
Is Jeff Jarrett in this one?
I wish. I wish, honestly, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case. I also think the story is very interesting because, again, I'm 3 hours into it. I don't have full context yet, but like they're trying to find like a missing like friend. It's very much like two little kids trying to find their buddy. It just happens to be in ancient Greece while all of this shit is going on around them. You got to like go through cyclopses and monsters and all this other fucking bullshit. And yeah, it's just such a cool game, and I hope this does well enough because according to the leaker on Reset Era, they have enough planned for like an entire series. And my thing is, I don't know if this ends on that cutscene from God of War: Ghost of Sparta where Ares and Athena take the wrong kid, but they have Spartan Kratos already. They have sprites for him. I wouldn't be opposed if the sequel is like Kratos a little bit older. Like in my mind's eye, the trilogy is like Kid Kratos, Spartan Kratos, and then Blades of Chaos Kratos. I don't think we're going to get that far with this, though. I don't know that. I've already seen people bitching about the $30 price point, but like, there were people when this game was first initially leaked that were laughing at the idea of it being full priced, and this is decidedly not full priced. But yeah, it's very cool. This was my favorite thing that was shown during the state of play, which is saying a lot because this was the best state of play that they have ever fucking done.
Yeah.
Like Konami pulled up and we're like, hey, remember like 10 years ago when y'all said we didn't make video games anymore? Watch this. So Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 is coming out, which includes Metal Gear Solid 4, which is finally being freed from fucking PS3 jail. And it comes with Peace Walker. And if you buy the whole collection, you get Ghost Babel for the Game Boy. So I think at this point, are Portable Ops and the Acid games the only ones that haven't been brought forward?
Um. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that hasn't been.
Because Volume 1 had 1, 2, and 3,
Mm.
the MSX versions of 1 and 2, and the NES versions. So I
Yeah.
think at this point, like Acid 1 and 2 and Portable Ops are like it.
The only other thing would be that mobile game that I saw people playing on YouTube that look surprisingly detailed. But other than that's everything.
Which is crazy to think we're getting a new Castlevania game that's like a 2.5D,
Yeah, that was
like
cool.
classic Castle. That looks so good. That new
Belmont's
Silent
Curse,
Hill
right?
game looks fucking amazing. Yeah, Belmont's Curse is the name. I was trying to think of it.
Yeah,
That game looks really cool.
That's like a first-person game now, right?
It looks like it. Yeah, that game looked kind of horrifying.
Yeah, it's different for that. Should be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be a really really cool game. I think the Castlevania game I'm really excited for. They said it's the start of like a lot of products coming out for the 40th anniversary. I don't know if product specifically means games, but it would be pretty fucking cool if we got more than one Castlevania game this year.
It was funny the Metal Gear thing. Like they're like now on to the next video, and it was like weird octopus game, like stealth octopus, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" I'm curious about like what happens with Metal Gear because I don't know if they'll remake one now. I feel like that was the obvious direction, but like
That's the rumor, is that one's next.
that's such a big undertaking, and it's like what they've shown so far. It just doesn't seem that the like I said, at least what they've shown, it doesn't seem like they would be interested in that because to the oh Jesus, what Metal Gear Delta isn't really starting from scratch, right? It's like using the assets and stuff and just updating it and everything else that they're doing. There's nothing when it comes to Metal Gear that they're actually beginning from. Like it's not like building from the ground up. So I mean, we'll see. It'd be interesting if they do remake one, but that's like I said, that's just such a big thing. And what if they just like re-release Twin Snakes or some shit?
People would hate that because people really don't like Twin Snakes.
Oh,
Is what
I
I've
know, but I'm just thinking like if they really are like, oh, we don't know about remaking, and it's going to be a lot of work, they could just be like, okay, here's this, and I know people would be pissed, but I it's that would
I
certainly
wonder
be
if
an
there's
easier
like
thing to
some
do.
licensing shit behind
Maybe.
that one because it was Nintendo exclusive, and I think a Nintendo owned studio developed it.
Yeah, and I think there's like Yoshi's and stuff in the game, right?
Yeah, we
What
saw
was?
another 007 First Light trailer. That shit looked incredible.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just trying to think what studio developed that again.
Silicon Knights.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah,
Let's see what else did we saw. There's a game called Crimson Moon that I thought looked kind of cool.
I don't remember seeing that.
Um, what was the octopus game is called like Darwin's Paradox. Apparently
Yeah,
the demo is the demo is very much Metal Gear inspired, but I don't think the main game is.
maybe it's just like specific missions or something.
Yeah,
Could
I
be.
know that like I giggled when I saw tactical octopus operations or action or whatever it was, whatever the phrasing was, when I saw that appear on the screen. That was really funny.
Yeah, it was just like the way they threw to it is like, oh, more Metal Gear. It's like here's this giant octopus thing. It's like, oh, all right, okay. Um, I know
Oh,
there was a
Resident
lot.
Evil 9 was shown also, and it
Yeah,
looked fucking great.
there was a lot shown, but it's like the way my brain works, I forget like half of it. I remember there was like John Wick shown. Um,
That game looks very much like a PS3 era license game, and I am fucking hyped.
looks a bit like Sifu when it got into actual gameplay.
I never really played that game, but it always looked kind of interesting.
I have it and I haven't played it, but like as far as like the animation stuff and stuff, I thought it looked very similar. The studio behind that is Saber, who has like 10,000 things all at once. It seems. I was looking
Oh,
at the
because they're owned
development.
by Embracer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it seemed like they have all these different projects, and some of them are like completely different when it comes to style of game. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, yeah, I actually haven't seen any of the John Wick movies, which is surprising because it seems like right up my alley. But when I heard like the whole story is like a dog dies, I was like, I don't want to see that shit. But I'll have to check them out.
I've heard for years I'd really love those movies. I just haven't watched them.
You know what turned me off
Um,
too was I watched Matrix. What was the last one called? Revelations, and Keanu's fight scene in that, he's moving so slow. Like he looks like an old man, like trying to fight. And I was like, oh jeez. Like it's just I don't know about John Wick after watching this. It was really bad in that movie.
I mean, time comes for us all, I guess. We saw
Yeah,
the
you think they would have
on.
had like stunt doubles from those for those scenes. It was really weird.
Yeah, The only Matrix I've seen is Animatrix,
Really?
which is probably the least surprising thing to anybody listening to this. Yeah. I
I'm I'm just surprised because I feel like everyone's seen the first movie, but
I remember it being a really big deal when I was a kid, but I also there were a lot of things in pop culture in like 1999 that I didn't care about.
we watched it in high school.
I think the craziest we ever got with watching a movie in school was when we watched Jumanji on the last day of fourth grade.
We watched that. We watched Speed in French class. I don't know if I told that story before, but like that was in uh, middle school, and they had like this giant old CRT TV like suspended on top of a a bench that wasn't fit for it. If you could think of like a kitchen island, so you've got this like TV that's sort of leaning forward, this giant TV. It was kind of scary when he was sitting there. You always felt like he was gonna fall down. So we're watching Speed in French, and the Speed theme song's like, "Du- du- 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 du, du- 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 du," and my friend sitting next to me goes, "Metal Gear," and I was like, Jesus Christ! The teacher was like, "Quiet," because it sort of sounds similar, and he just like freaked out and shouted Metal Gear at like the top of his lungs. It was so funny, and then we didn't understand any of the movie because it was in French, but it was fun.
I remember we watched I think it was Swiss Family Robinson. It was one of those old like live action, I think it was a Disney movie that's like they had to split up the viewing session like because the movie was so goddamn long.
Yeah.
And I remember being bored out of my skull. I remember the last day of school in kindergarten, we watched Mary Poppins. And I just thought it was the biggest waste of time because it was the last day of school. And if this was all we were going to do, let me go home. I remember like just crying because I wanted to go home. And they were like, it's not scary. And I'm like, I know, it's boring. I want to go home.
I remember the last day of school going into my friend's class, and they were watching Lord of the Rings, and like I started to talk to my friend. The teacher turned around, gave me a dirty look, and I was like, "Bitch, you've probably seen this like 100 times." It's like, what are you giving me a dirty look for? But we watched it in English class too. We watched the Playboy version of Macbeth, which isn't as exciting as it sounds. It's just Macbeth. I think it was oh god, who directed it? It was oh I can't
Grant.
forget. What's that?
Hugh Grant. I'm just saying things I don't actually
It
know.
was Roman Polanski, I believe, directed that movie.
Oh,
Yeah. She didn't know the story about him until later. But I think in music class they watched Blow, and I didn't want to watch it, so I just sat there. But we watched a bunch of weird movies in high school. It was fun.
I remember we watched The Sound of Music in music class one year, and I fucking hated it.
I
I
think we
remember there's a Kevin Bacon movie called The River, and I remember because I had missed a bunch of school in seventh grade because I just didn't show up because I fucking hated all of my teachers and
yeah.
just there were at home issues I needed to be at home to potentially prevent. Um, but I remember they sent me out to the library thinking that was like a punishment. And you know what I did? I went and I found because the way the school that was designed was like none of the classrooms had doors because it was done in the 70s to, and I quote, foster a more open learning environment. So like the majority of the classrooms just no doors, just big old fucking just walk right in, right? I walked over and found the furthest seat in the library and just sat there with my book staring into the classroom, watching on like a fucking like a 20-inch TV from probably like fucking 20 yards away. It was brutal. But you have three classrooms playing the same movie at the same time. Very easy to hear what's going on at least. Um, I've probably told this story too. Seventh grade, again, missed a bunch of school. My mom filled out the permission slip and sent the $5 in for me to go see The Incredibles with the rest of my class. And they catch me as I'm getting ready to go get in the bus. And they're like, "Oh, you have to stay here." And I was like, "Do I get my $5 back?" And they just looked at me like I was stupid. So the in-school suspension teacher, God love her, she kind of pulls me aside and was like, listen, I know you got screwed. I don't think it's right. And then she looks at me and goes, you don't look like you're feeling very well. And I start to go, no, I'm all right. And then I notice the look on her face and I'm like, oh, yeah, I am feeling a little rough. Yeah, I just got sick. And she's like, well, I'm going to go take these kids down to empty their lunch trays. If you get sick, I'll take you down to the office. She fucking walks them away, comes back like 5 minutes later without them. She's like, you all right? And I'm like, I just puked. And she took me to the fucking office. And at this time, the principal really had it out for me because I wasn't showing up to school. And I also just thought this lady was a piece of shit. And I could get into like the lore of why that principal was a piece of shit. Let me just say, you should live your life such that if the place you work ever has to make a Facebook post announcing you have cancer, that 300 of those comments on that post aren't like fuck you posts.
Oh, jeez.
Like, live your life in a way that doesn't make you that person. So I get to the office and they're like, oh, well, she's over at the high school. We'll have to wait for her to get back. So I puke again. Because I'm not Darren Drozdov with it, but like, I had just eaten lunch. I can go. It's fine. So I call my house and nobody answers. I call it back a second time and my asshole cousin answers. And I'm like, you need to fucking get here like as fast as you can. And he's like, why? I'm like, they fucked me out of going to see that movie. I'm sitting in here trying to pretend like I'm sick. The principal's coming back. Like, I need you to get your shit here. I don't think that motherfucker drove the speed limit. Because it was like that school was like an 8-minute drive from my house. That motherfucker was there at 3. Signed me out, and he walks me out to the car, and we're pulling out of the parking lot as I see the fucking principal walking across the street, and I wanted to shoot her a bird so bad, but I didn't. So I got to go home and I watched the rise and fall of ECW for like the 3rd time. And when they got to the Heatwave 99 section, my cousin's girlfriend at the time was listening to the Dudleys promo, and she was just like beside herself. Like, I can't. How is he allowed to say that? And then he says "We got a mom in the front row" line, and from the other side of the room, I hear my other cousin go, "Well, it is Dayton," and that's burned into my brain. Like, and when I went to Hero Arena for ROH, one of my friends was like, do you think that mom and daughter went like to ROH? I'm like, there was like one woman in the building. It was Scott. I almost ran her over walking away from the merch table.
Jesus.
Like, I turned around and started to walk, and I walked fast, like big steps. I gotta get where I'm going. I turn around and take like one step, and I almost just like completely fucking flattened her. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And she's like, you're okay. And I'm like, cool, I'm going to go talk to the Briscoes. And then that was the day where I was like, oh no, those build heights are a fucking work. I'm taller than everybody at the table. The Briscoes were super cool. Like, those guys and Roddy were cool. Like, I was like, hey, I just bought a DVD. I'm sorry, I don't have any money for an 8x10, but like, I fucking love you guys. And then Jay Lethal was at the end of the table, and it was his birthday, which they announced over the microphone. And this guy acted like he would have rather been anywhere else other than Hero Arena with 150 people. And I don't necessarily blame him. But like, when Roderick Strong, who's a heel, is being nice to everybody that comes to the table, and Jay Lethal, who's being pushed as like the number 3 babyface, is kind of being an asshole to kids.
Yeah.
Not a big Jay Lethal fan anyway. That didn't help. But yeah. Well, how did I was talking about Rise and Fall of ECW. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wait, how the fuck did I get there? Speaking of ECW, it was brought to my attention that fucking Rob Feinstein unearthed an ECW fan cam from 1997 last year.
Yeah.
And I remember in 2013, he was hyping up a tape that he had found. Like, it was like, oh, this is such an amazing finding. And everybody was kind of mad when it ended up being the last ECW arena show. And I'm like, wait, well, hold on. We didn't know this footage existed at all. We only knew the main event existed. Like, for all we knew, the tape could have been lost. I didn't pay Rob Feinstein money for that show. I acquired it from somebody else. But it was like, oh, holy shit, there's ECW footage. And then I start looking everywhere to see if, somebody might have, taken the plunge and uploaded it to share the wealth. I can't find that fucking fan cam anywhere. And I don't think I
No.
need to see it badly enough to give fucking Rob Feinstein $7. So
I find that the XWT is sort of disappointing when I check it out. It's like if you check like the modern one, I think they upload like late 90s onto there too, and it just seems to be all like current day stuff and like the classics. I don't know. I just find that like it's not what it used to be, and a lot of people don't seed. So I think the best bet these days is archive.org, but I don't think there's anything on there. It's kind of frustrating that stuff's not part of the Reese dub. I'm guessing because they don't want the attention of Rob Feinstein, but like
fan
one.
cams wouldn't need to be redubbed though. That's I
No,
think
yeah,
the
that's
distinction.
true. But I think you're right. But I just wish for the purpose of it, like there was links to them or something, because like I
Agreed.
want I want everything. So, um, also I don't think that '93 stuff is dubbed either, is it? Like the pilot episode and
Hmm.
the best of
I
'93.
that I don't know actually.
Yeah, I'm not. I've watched them. I didn't. Excuse me. I don't think I saw any like dubbing on there or anything.
I need to do the ECW on TNN rewatch, which funny enough, the calendar lines up this year, I think, with Wednesday for the majority of the year. So that'll be my
I
Wednesday night wrestling viewing.
I need to get back into that. I tell you what. So you remember like months ago I stopped WWF '99. Well, I decided I was gonna watch the first episode of Raw from 2000. Oh God, did I hate that show? Do you
Yeah,
know
the
what episode?
narrative is like 2000s, like incredible, but
Do you know what episode that is?
I started a Raw 2000 rewatch during the pandemic. I don't remember specifically, but
It's the episode where Triple H beats the Big Show for the title, and
I thought
he
that
is.
was the last episode of '99. What the fuck? Okay, yeah,
I
go
think he
on.
like he beats him up at the end of '99, and then 2000 is when he wins the title. So he's all over that show, and it's also the episode where they have the racist skit with him as an Asian doctor with Mankind, the fake Mankind, Midian. So it's like unbelievably bad. And there's like a 10-minute random steel cage match between Jeff Hardy and Al Snow, where they have Terry Reynolds in the ring, and she's just like cowering in the corner for like 10 minutes. Just they're wrestling around her basically. It doesn't make any sense. And like there's other matches that, of course, because it's that time period, they last like 2 minutes, and there's like a DQ or some shit. It was fucking terrible. And then I tried to watch some more episodes after like the SmackDown and stuff, and there's just I can't do it. It's just too bad. It's awful shit.
Yeah, like I said, the narrative around that year has always been like, oh my god, it's the best year in WWE history, blah 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 blah. I'm here to fucking tell you from the bottom of my heart, as a guy that really used to think that shit was great. There are good matches that happen in 2000, usually after the Benoit, Eddie, Malenko, Saturn crew pops up
Yeah.
and they realize, fuck, we have like actual workers now. You go back and watch the 2000 Royal Rumble, that show is fucking brutal. Like the tables match is amazing. Triple H Cactus Jack's good, but you look at the lineup in that Rumble, and it's like, how in the fuck did this company pull ahead? How are people watching this shit?
Yeah, it's that's the Rumble where like Taka
Takes the
um
face bump and they replay it 200 times.
yeah, and Jerry Lawler laughs and calls him Chinese or something, yeah. Um
Yeah.
this is also like when the Stephanie announces that I don't know if it was this episode or the next one, but like where Stephanie announces Jericho and China are co-champions, and I'm just like, oh fuck. It's
And
it's awful. It's awful.
you get Harvey Whippleman as Harvina because somebody had a hair up their ass sideways that was fucking funny.
At least I got to hear Moolah's theme song. That's always a plus.
It's just it's an era of wrestling that's very weird to look back. Like ECW objectively holds up the best of the big
It
three
does, yeah.
because the matches are the best, and you can say whatever you want about ECW's portrayal of women. It compared to the WWF and some shit in WCW, ECW's treatment of women in that era is like progressive by comparison.
It's also not obviously it's not as flashy and over the top, right? Like your backstage skits, they're quite they're not long, you know. They're easy to get through, even if you don't like them. And like the is definitely a more focus on matches as opposed to WWF where you're just getting all these backstage segments and they're all fucking bad. And then you get like a 1 minute match and you're just like, why even have that? You know, those like I don't this mustn't have been on the first episode because he wrestled Triple H, but like there's a Big Show and an X-Pac match that literally lasts like a minute and then Big Show gets DQ'd for like pushing the referee or something, and it's just like, why did you even do this? Like, what a waste of fucking time.
And talent.
Yeah, and they did that all through '99 as well, right? Like 2 minute matches where somebody runs in and it's just like they didn't want to be wrestling. They didn't want to be a wrestling show. They wanted to be a fucking comedy sitcom bullshit.
And even the narrative that the pay-per-views were really good in 2000 doesn't hold water. Like Backlash is great. That's like one of the best pay-per-views that company ever did. No Way Out sucks. WrestleMania 2000 is really bad. Judgment Day 2000, I don't know how the hell Rock and Triple H had that good of an Iron Man match, but that show sucks other than that match. King of the Ring is terrible. Fully Loaded is a good show, but like pretty overrated. SummerSlam over delivers. Unforgiven sucks. No Mercy sucks. Survivor Series sucks. Armageddon has one fucking match. You can't tell me a single other thing that happens on that show.
That's this Hell in a Cell, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I won that on VHS from a radio station back in the day, and it's like it had like review copy on it or something. I can't remember. It was weird because it wasn't like a. I won that in the Fozzy CD from some radio station.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I think people also kind of forget that like the invasion angle is not the only part of '01 that kind of sucks a little bit of shit. Because the year to that point is not like Mania 17 is like a high water mark for wrestling in general. But like No Way Out 01 sucks. The build to Mania 17 really sucks. There's a lot of people that don't want to have to fucking admit that to themselves, but it's brutal. Like really fucking bad. In like Backlash is a terrible show outside of Rhino versus Jericho. Judgment Day '01 has nothing redeeming. King of the Ring '01 has like Shane McMahon also almost dying. There's nothing else. Invasion's got RVD, Jeff Hardy, and nothing else. SummerSlam's a good show because SummerSlam usually was. Unforgiven's not good. No Mercy was pretty all right. Fuck Survivor Series '01 and fuck Vengeance '01. And then '02 just sucks until the brand split happens.
I think the best of '01 is probably random matches that people forget about on like Raws and stuff, because especially with the big stars, you're not getting those 1 minute DQ matches. I remember there was like pretty extensive matches like for the WCW title, when they were trading it between like Jericho and Rock and I think like Angle and like Booker T.
Yep.
And I thought Angle's work as a babyface for his first time as a babyface was really good. Like I liked his matches against Austin. I mean, the heel turn didn't work, but the matches were good. And geez, excuse me.
That SummerSlam match is amazing.
Excuse me. Yeah, and then I also thought like you talk about like X-Pac Heat, but I thought like putting him in the light heavyweight / cruiserweight division was a good choice, and you had him working with Kidman again and Tajiri as well. I thought like they were doing a pretty good showcase of like the cruiserweight division before it all just like went to hell. Basically, I wish they had done more with Shane Helms because like at the end of WCW he was like the cruiserweight guy, Sugar Shane, and then he comes in, they change him to Gregory Helms, and he's just like a dude until he becomes a Hurricane. So I thought that was kind of wasted.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't real big on how they used a lot of those guys. Mike Awesome didn't want to shake everybody's fucking hand, so they fucked him immediately. Also, none of the top guys were going to take any of his fucking offense, which sucks.
And it does suck because like the first move you see him do in WWF is like power bombing Rhino onto like a ladder or something backstage.
Yeah, that looked like a lot of fun to be on the receiving end of too. A ladder on concrete. And
I was
Rhino's out
thinking,
a couple of months later from a neck injury too. So
I was thinking the other day like what I if how things could have been different in like the end of WCW. One of the things I was thinking of was like a feud of like Goldberg against ECW. Like think about it, like it beat Raven, and then at the end of '98 you have Bam Bam coming in, and then eventually you have like Mike Awesome coming in. If you could have got like Sabu, like you could have just put like this whole video package of him beating like all these ECW guys, like all these. They could have been like these are like the most extreme wrestlers in wrestling, and they're coming to challenge Goldberg, and you've got him against all these guys. I thought that would be like a fun little angle. ECW always used to show these their guys beating like WWF and WCW guys. Like remember when Taz beat Chris Jericho or whatever, and then you could have just ran a video of like Goldberg beating Raven, and then Bam Bam. I just thought that would have been like a really interesting thing to do, but obviously we didn't get anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could have done with the end of WCW as opposed to what they actually did.
unrelated, but like apparently the majors are doing an Arsenio Hall Macho Man Big Rubber guy.
Okay, that's the Macho King, right? Because I think he made a few appearances, right?
Yeah, it's specifically the Macho King one. It's the same attire as the zombies.
I'm telling you, Zombie needs to make an Arsenio Hall and then get the Friday the 13th license and make a Jason Takes Manhattan as well. And you could have him and Randy as like the Arsenio Hall pack. It'd be great.
It would be. I'd buy it. I'd buy an Arsenio Hall figure.
Who? Pump it up.
My thing is, if we start fantasy booking Goldberg against ECW guys, the one I really want to see is I want to see Goldberg against Balls Mahoney.
I knew you were going to say that. That was literally in my head just before you said it. I could picture that, and yeah, that would have been a fun one. A chair shot like La Parka. Yeah, I mean, even
he does like the little balls punch rush. Goldberg no sells it. All right, fucker. Yeah. Chair shot, spear, jackhammer. Yeah.
He does like a cartwheel to the punch rush. That would be funny. Or like the backflip he did that in that one match. A new video package. You could even show him against 911 because I think they wrestled on Saturday night one time.
And like Goldberg and Rhino would have been cool.
Yeah, definitely. That's a missed opportunity for sure.
How did we not get like a Mike Awesome Goldberg match? Did we get one?
That blows my mind. Like if there was one in WCW, I definitely don't remember, and it mustn't be nothing to it.
Probably if it happened, it was one of those Russo 3 minutes and then a DQ fucking bunch of bullshit.
Would have been like heel Goldberg against that 70s guy or some shit.
Yeah, no, they sure fucking didn't.
Yeah. That's another thing. It's like Mike Awesome should have came in like beat the shit out of Nash like he did, and then should have Mike Awesome beating the shit out of Nash and then Sid leading up to a match against Goldberg.
Yeah, but he was shorter than Kevin Nash, so he wasn't believable. IVP videos tried to tell me that once. Like, well, Nash came into a promotion, or Awesome came into a promotion where he wasn't the biggest guy anymore. So, like, why would they push him? And it's like, because they needed to push somebody new, and he was easily they don't bring in anybody in 2000 that's anywhere near as good as Mike Awesome.
No, and he was intimidating as fuck. I mean, like, look what he did. If he's not as tall as Kevin Nash, he's still a big guy that can do things like planchas and all this shit that Kevin Nash would never do. You know, seeing him like doing
Well,
a
I mean,
frog splash.
he did invent a lot of that X Division style. Let's give Kevin
Oh well,
Nash
that's
credit.
true. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I just want to say, he was an innovator.
I'm surprised they didn't put him with Sid though, because I mean they wore similar attire, and it just feels like there would have been
Why
like
weren't
they
they
would
the
have
new
looked.
skyscrapers?
That's what I was just gonna say. It's like that they could have just called them like Sid and Vader, called the Masters of the Power Bomb or something.
I wish that team lasted a little bit longer. I wish the scissors incident didn't happen because I want to see what the fuck Sid and Vader looks like in '93. Because I know what it
Yeah,
looked like in '96, and what it looked like in '96 was not great.
he should have
Although I
never
do
had to
remember
go to
that
WWF.
that one account, that Elliot's Wrestling Twitter, the one that's got like 9,000 fucking 5-star matches, they listed Sid and Vader as one of them, and I was like, oh, we're just doing a bit now, huh? Jesus Christ. Look,
I
I'm
saw
one of the biggest Vader fans you're ever gonna meet, and I like Sid a lot more than like 99.9% of people. That match is not good.
I saw them have a stretcher match at a house show. I don't remember anything about it, but that's cool.
I remember when the last taped MSG house show hit the network, and it's like, oh, they did a Vader and Undertaker casket match. I wonder if that's any good. It's kind of
Nah,
their
it's been
match at
fun.
Canadian Stampede's fucking awesome though.
Yeah, I like the. I don't remember much about it, but I remember as a kid, like in the Royal Rumble match, they had the match at Royal Rumble '97, right?
Yeah, and Vader wins
Yeah, I think doesn't Undertaker attack the referee afterwards?
probably.
I think maybe that's why I thought it was cool. Like the best thing about that show was Ahmed putting D'Lo through the table. That shit was cool as hell.
Speaking of Ahmed, you look at that Dino Bravo that the zombie showed off. It's not too hard to imagine. I mean, it would have to have different boots and like knee pads, but like it's not hard to imagine the majority of that figure just being reused and repainted for Ahmed.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely be interested in that.
This is me once again pleading with anybody listening to not buy the grapplers and gimmicks figures. Zombie is going to do all of those same guys. It might take a long time, but they're going to be fucking. They're almost certainly going to be cheaper. I don't know what Mitch's non pre-order price is at now for those, but like
I have no
they're
idea.
almost certainly going to be like less expensive, and they're all like if Zombie doesn't put out a higher quality figure than Mitch, I think we're probably ready to pack everything up.
Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, it's a shame like Ahmed isn't in the video games and stuff. I'm always going to bat for Ahmed Johnson. I thought he was just the best.
Is he one of the 5,000 people signed for UPW?
No, I don't remember him being announced for that at all.
Also,
Speaking of which,
looking at it,
yeah, go
oh, go
ahead.
on.
No, I'm going to bring something up as soon as you're done here.
Looking at it, Bravo has different arms than the Bad News. Bad News looks they have the same torso for sure, but Bad News has the same arms as Pillman and Jarrett. It looks like Bravo's arms are clearly much bigger. I'm thinking those are probably what's going to wind up on Ahmed. If they, it, not if, when that gets made.
Those Bad News Allen boots could be used for someone else.
Who?
Kobashi. That's immediately who I go to when I see those style of boots.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a boot mold that's painted a certain way. I mean, they would
Yeah,
probably
I
have
know. It's just
the
I
same
see
like
that
paint print.
and I'm just like, I wish we had a Kobashi. I get it, but it's just like when I see boots that style, that's who I
Well,
always think of.
Onita's got a much larger market appeal than the All Japan guys.
Yeah, I don't get that. But what I wanted to bring up is because I don't think we've talked about it because I think it was after last week's show, but the wrestling code where
Oh my god, yeah. So I did digging on this. This is the second time they've let that trademark lapse because they let it lapse at the end of 2023 and then did not file for it again until August of 2024.
huh.
And they're like, oh, we'll get the trademark when the game comes out. That's not how that works.
No.
Like,
No,
Like
that's
Fight Forever didn't have like the trademark was live before Fight Forever came out, but like there was still drama about that with GCW like a couple of months before the fucking game came out, it felt like.
yeah. It doesn't hit the shelves, and then they approve the trademark because other people could be potentially trying to register for it at the same time, right? It's like
Right.
I think in all cases they're approved before the game actually releases.
Yeah,
So
that's my understanding.
yeah, me too. Yeah, so like the news was like it was dead, and then everyone was like, "Yep, no surprise." And then they came back and said, "No, we're still around, yada yada yada." And I saw people saying things like, "Oh, thank God," and we need another wrestling game. And I'm like, dudes, even if they say that they're alive, there's
That
no
game's
guarantee.
not coming out.
There's no guarantee you're going to see a guarantee an end product with anything these days, right? Like
No.
I'm trying to explain to people, and I keep repeating myself because I can't help it. It's just like you can't say thank God this game is coming out when it's not out. Like we don't know how things are going to turn out. Anything could happen
Like
in
we
the
don't
World
have a
Wrestling
fucking
Federation.
release date. We don't I've been saying that a lot at work.
It's true with everything though.
Nobody
Like
gets it.
look at the major studios can't even get their games out, right? Like you see titles that are cancelled all the time. Like why do you think an independent project or a project from a smaller studio is a guarantee? I don't take anything as a guarantee these days.
Wrestling fans are dumb.
And it's also the thing. Like I'm telling people again, it's like don't put everything into like somebody when they said that they were still alive. Someone commented on their post was like, "Oh, I have faith in you guys," and I said, "Well, where does this faith come from?" And they didn't respond. So, I mean, like, how do you answer that question? Oh, I played Mean Greens. That's how I have faith they're going to make it the best wrestling game of all time. Like, give me a break. What?
Yeah, so I saw their post because I think Ray sent it to me. And they're like, "Oh, we're working on a contract for another game," which like
Yeah.
don't ever you just told people this game is not your priority. And so like I look in the replies and they're getting shitty with people that are like, "Y'all haven't said shit. Like there's no reason to think this is coming out." They're like, "Oh, we don't owe you anything. Who are you?" That's a great way to alienate a fucking fan base that wants to buy something that's not WWE branded, you dumb fucks.
Some of the wildest stuff I saw was like, oh, AEW should have helped them out. Oh, AEW should buy the licenses. Yeah, like I'm sure AEW wants a bunch of invalid licenses for people that have been in WWE for like 5 years now, or
Or
independent guys
AEW
that
even.
yeah, or independent guys that no one knows. Like what value does that bring to AEW?
Yeah, in like remember when people were like, "Oh, Tony Khan should partner with Hyper Focus Games"? Why would they do that? They have their own fucking source code.
Exactly. Why would they help out the wrestling code anyway? It doesn't make any sense. They don't owe them anything. I mean, the wrestling code they talk about like we don't owe the fans anything. Well, AEW doesn't owe them anything. Why would they help out? Just because you think that these people who you've never played a game from before are making the best wrestling game of all time? Like, I
Because
don't
they made a
understand
bunch of
it.
promises.
I don't fucking get it. I know, and we've been through. I don't know if it's just because I'm older or what, but like we've been through Pro Wrestling X that I don't have. I don't want to say I don't have faith in anything, but I need to see things for myself. It's like I'm looking forward to Acts of Blood because I've seen a lot. I played the demo. I've actually got my hands on the game. I know what it's like, and that's something I
Right.
can look at and think like the final project, the final product from my point of view is probably going to be good based on what I played. You have nothing from the wrestling code where you can see this is going to be great. You should not have any faith in that. Even if you've liked what they've showed, have you got your hands on it? No. You don't know what to
No,
expect
and
at
the
the end of the
people
game.
that have gotten their hands on it have reported that it runs like fucking shit.
And they've only been
And
able
all
to
they had
walk
to offer
around.
was a running demo.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. So
and I'm not using this opportunity to dunk on UPW, but it's the people doing the same shit with UPW. You haven't played the fucking thing.
it is. And like I haven't been mentioned that in their Discord because I think they're just gonna shit on me because it's a UPW Discord. But I also want to be like, it's the same thing here. You've got to. It's funny because there was someone that was like, Oh, when they were talking about the wrestling code, it's like, oh, you guys, don't have any patience for a wrestling game to be finished. But then the same people are like all over saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. So it's like they don't have patience for a finished project, but like they're okay now to say it's the best. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I saw like the UPW moves animation video where everything's in like the not Manhattan Center. Some of that looks a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not the most discouraging thing I've ever seen, but it's not like super encouraging either. Because you're just showing me animations. Like, show me a full end-to-end match. I
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
think that's unreasonable.
last time he did a video before that said they were getting there and he thought well they were pretty close. So I mean, I'm kind of I think the Manhattan Center looks great, but I'm also kind of get sick of that now. It's like when remember we put out the request when it was like first teased, like we need to see this arena, and we've seen it now, and I'm like, okay, can we see something else?
Can
It's
we see like the Tokyo arena, please?
yeah, it's the same thing with like the Brian Pillman. It's like I've seen this so many times now. I want to move on to something different. But yeah, we definitely need the full match. I don't know. With that,
So
I'm just like waiting, right?
on the 10th, a friend of mine sent me this screenshot from the UPW Discord. This is from Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say about the middle of 2026, we will have a demo version of the game ready, but not the early access. And the plan would be to launch both at the same time and use the demo as a kind of advert for the early access. But with the demo version, we can send that to publishers and be in a much better position than we are now. From everyone we've spoken to, the vibe is that publishers want to see an almost finished product before taking the next steps. The way, hold on. Hold on. Let me pull Discord on my computer because the way this is formatted, I can't actually read it on my phone because it's a
Something
screenshot from
in the
like
way.
it's a screenshot from like a computer, and I'm not tilting my phone screen sideways to read it because the last time I did that, Discord fucking disconnected on me. So hold on. Looking for accounts you've blocked or ignored? Go to settings. No, I'm not looking for them. That's why I blocked or ignored them.
I don't have anyone that I had someone randomly ask me if I want artwork commissioned a few days ago, and I was like, huh? What's going on?
The way it's been described to us is that publishers won't be too interested at the moment. You need them, but as soon as it looks like you don't need them, they will be all over you. LOL. I don't know that that's actually the case. Sort of catch 22, but apparently that's just the way it is. So if we don't land a publisher, we would put out the EA probably in Q3 or Q4, but this would be equivalent to Fight Forever with not as much call content as I'd like. You could also just not dunk on the AEW game, Sam. Just piece of advice. So this would essentially be a desperation move to claw some money back and reinvest. uh, so that's actually the worst scenario. If we land a publisher, it could mean that the timeline is the same and we are able to release an early access with all the bells and whistles that we would be happy with. Or if we decide we aren't happy and want to add more, the timeline would be longer and would likely spill over to 2027. But if that were the case, it may not even be an early access. It would just be a full initial release of the game. So
Hmm.
yes, there's a lot of moving parts to this, which make it almost impossible to put out a release date or even a window. But my strategy is to keep developing and moving forward and cross the difficult bridges when they come. I got to tell you, uh, this exact statement, like a year ago, I probably would have been fine with. Um, we were supposed to have a demo by now. I'm almost certain, and I would have to go back, but I'm almost certain they were targeting late 2025 for the full like retail version of the game, or
I
at least the early
believe
access.
so. Yeah, early access, I think.
So like I don't mean to compare Sam to Dave and UPW to PWX, but like my brother in Christ, I've been here before. This is every bit of like, guys, no, totally, we're gonna get the game out. Publishers, man. I, at this point, I don't think this game comes out in 2026. I'd be surprised if it comes out next year. I understand the realities of game development because I know a lot of people that make video games. Um, but this is this is another wrestling code situation where you've made 8 million promises and people thought this game was clearly a lot further along than it was, which is partially on them, partially on you.
Right.
And you can't promise all of this stuff and show like very little and then be like, well, guys, actually we're not that far along. That doesn't work. I'm not saying throw out things every day, but this feels a little PWXy to me, and the fact that we've got two of them at one time feels like a blessing from fucking Santa. And for clarity's sake, I've heard the virtual basement's going to shove something out regardless because that's just what they do. I don't know, man. I would not have put that statement out saying like because it's early 2026. Like I would not have been like, man, it might be next year, it might be this year. I don't really know. Shit happens.
Yeah, I would
Putting that out well after you were originally supposed to have the early access out, and like way after you were supposed to have a demo ready. I just wouldn't have done it.
It's dangerous putting any time frame on anything at this point. I don't think there's anyone. Well, I know there's some people that are developing wrestling games that listen, but I don't know how many. But my advice to people that are like making a video game, my advice to people that are making a video game is like, don't provide any expectations. Don't overblow things. Like, I know everyone has the ideas of what they want to do, and I know if I was making a wrestling game, I would want to have everything in the universe possible. I would want it to be like the best thing ever. But I don't think I would want to come out and say it's going to have this, it's going to have this, it's going to have this until I'm 100% sure that I can implement those things and those things are done. Because we've got another, as you said, like we went through this with PWX, so people have got these expectations in their mind, and who knows what's going to happen at the end of the day. Unless you've already got like a publisher and you're a studio like Visual Concepts, and you've got things lined up where you can say, we've got a huge budget, we can do all this. Like you got to be wary. I mean, the way things are, it's just.
And fans have to be wary too. I'll say this: part of the reason I get grumpy when like you recap like the UPW monthly updates, and it's like, oh, we're gonna create a fan. You don't have a functioning fucking game yet. Like,
yeah, I understand.
Put a game out.
I mean, I understand why they did a lot of stuff they did, is because they got the game funded through Kickstarter. So I get it, but like you also have to deliver on those things, and it's it's not going to be as easy as you think, and in some cases, it might not even happen. So I don't know, dude. If I would never try and make a video game unless I had like $1 billion, and I wouldn't announce anything unless I've already done it. That's how I sort of view things. Because
I mean, if I had the money, I'd commission a team to basically just make Action Zone, but with like original characters, and then I would enable the team to have mod support, and I would basically just have official mods of all the WWF guys, because that's how you skate around that shit.
Yeah, and I know of a few projects in like development, and I wouldn't. It's funny because people are asked sometimes like, "Well, why don't people just work together?" And it's because like I'm not
different
saying it's
visions.
a bad thing. Yeah, it's a clash of egos, right? The clash of visions. Like people specifically have something in mind that they want to do, and you put them with someone else, they may not want to do the same thing. And it's not like it's not like they're under one company where they're forced to work together or something like that. Everyone's got their own ideas, and unfortunately, in some cases, they just don't work out. It's rough, dude. It's really rough. Like every part of the video game industry, whether you're a small team, whether you're a large team, whether you're under like a developer or publisher, whether you're independent, whatever, like everything's just like it's bad. It's real bad.
I mean, being an indie dev's never been particularly easy. Again, I'll point to PWX. Wrestling gamers are very susceptible to falling for bullshit because I say this specifically as wrestling fans, not WWE fans. A lot of us don't like the WWE product. A lot of us kind of never really have.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us just chose to fucking cross our arms and deal with it because it was the only thing. I understand that willingness to be like, oh my God, they're promising me everything, especially if you're too young to know about PWX.
Yeah, yeah.
But one of the things I've heard about Virtual Basement is they're a legit game studio. They're a fucking like third string support dev on a bunch of games that aren't very fucking good, and the games they put out aren't fucking good. Like their own games are not good. Just because they're telling you, well, we've seen it twice with presidential elections in the US in the last decade. People are willing to fucking just abandon all common sense if somebody tells them what they want to fucking hear. No matter how untrue and obviously bullshit it is. Obviously, you know, being misled by the orange dumb fuck is much worse than being misled by Virtual Basement, but like after a certain point, you're falling for bullshit either way.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. There is a lot of young people, so I want to be like Grandpa Simpson sitting under the lemon tree and tell the story of like PWX and some other things where it's like, this is why you don't put all your, you know, your faith into things.
I wish I could get in contact with Dave and figure out if he has enough time to sit down and do like a full history of PWX with us. Because I know he was doing the quote unquote shoot interviews on like the Patreon or whatever. And I would like to start at the fucking beginning and just get everything. I don't know, like, because he had like some legal stuff go on. I don't know how much of the like uprising stuff he could talk about, but I think if nothing else, like a long form PWX podcast, especially if put in front of people that don't fucking know, might help quell some of the like reckless optimism we've got when it comes to these independent wrestling games.
I also wish that he was following the other projects and give his thoughts on like what they're saying and like if there was any communication with him and them, and he could be like, you know, this is a red flag. This is what you're doing wrong. This is, you know, this is what you should be doing in those sort of situations.
Right.
You know,
remember, we brought up UPW using the WWF stuff.
Yeah.
This is before the quote unquote pitch concept. We're talking like back when the game was first like popping up and they were just using Steve Austin and Triple H to fucking get people interested. And we asked him about it, and he had no clue what the fuck we were talking about.
Yeah.
He didn't really know much about the AEW game either. He dunked on it after it came out. But I remember when we talked to him, God, what was that, late 2022? So about 7 months before the game came out. And he had like no real knowledge of what the fuck was going on. But he also had stuff going on in like real life. So I don't necessarily fault
absolutely.
him.
No.
But
it just, you know, it would be interesting if he was following to get his perspective on some of the things that have been said and done.
I would need to do some real deep like archive digging for PWX stuff. I think I still have the State of the Union podcast he did with Sonny Bone in 2012. I think all the videos they ever uploaded to fucking YouTube are still there. But it's such an interesting, and we've talked about it a million times on the show, but it's such an interesting fucking case study in like hype and expectations and the reality of the hype and those expectations and the reality of the situation.
Yeah. And we're going through it all again in some sort of way, you know, not exactly. We don't know what the end game's going to be. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Everything old is new again.
Yeah. And I think I've said this on the show. One of my biggest wrestling what ifs is like, what if Dave actually got the PWX he wanted to make out in the 2000s?
Yeah.
Like, how different is it now? Would we have gotten a sequel? Like, what if Dave's original vision had actually gotten released? Like, how would it have done? How would people have received it? That 360 case that I remember him showing off at like E3. Like, I played that 06 demo. I've gotten hands on it. It's rough.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Dave's been a punchline. Like we've used him as a punching bag on the show a bunch. I respect that he fucking devoted as much of his time as he did to the project. He clearly believed in it, and there was probably some part of that gave him something to like focus on when, you know, things were not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish PWX had a happier ending. I wish more young people cared about learning the history of these things, because I think if they did, they wouldn't jump on every independent wrestling game that gets shown as being like something incredible and amazing and fucking the best thing ever.
They get so defensive too. It's like, remember that guy that like stalked me on YouTube because I was like I was talking about the wrestling code and he was really unhappy and he like followed me. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know where that devotion comes from. And
I mean, the fucking lead dev on 5 Star Wrestling had a sock account that he used to fucking argue with me on every social media website, because I would call out like, this game doesn't have the most move animations of any wrestling game. There's no way it has more moves than like King of Coliseum. There's no way it has more moves than the most recent WWE game. You have 8 characters in this fucking game. There's no way.
that's another
And
one. That whole thing
5 Star?
yeah, just the thing that there was a wrestling game, that it was its own promotion, and like, holy shit.
And there was like the models that came out for like the Rey Mysterio DLC.
Yeah.
There's a Rev Pro arena in the game, but it's like a generic like fucking just regular wrestling arena.
Like,
They didn't get any of the Rev Pro people from that era in the game.
there's stuff like too that like I brought up before, but there's things people don't know about, like the guy that was claiming to make a wrestling game, and said he was talking to ROH and Jim Cornette was going to do commentary and stuff like that, and then I think about stuff like that, and the guy that was making his own game and had like, nobody seems to remember this from Fire Pro Club, but he was making his own game and had the Club La Vida Nitro-esque stage, and it was him making his entrance, and nobody ever seems to remember that. I remember it very vividly because I was like, what the hell is this? And I remember stuff like the VPW 2K or the VPW 3 project where they said they were going to update the game and release it on cartridges and stuff like that. So it's like all this shit that people don't know of, but I'm old, so I remember stuff like this, and it's
I vaguely remember that ROH game. I don't remember what year it was.
it was a long ass time ago. I can't remember what forum he was posting on, but I remember seeing it, and it was just he was posting like ROH things about like having the license, and then he claimed he was talking to them, and yeah, obviously that went nowhere, if it was even true.
Hold on.
Remember his name was something like Ziff Davis, but it wasn't that, obviously.
Zen Davis.
Zen Davis, okay.
Yeah, and it looks like this was supposed to be a mobile game.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Currently being developed for iPhone, iPad, Windows Mobile 7, Macintosh, PC, and XBLA.
Huh.
Thus far, the following professional wrestlers have joined the project: Ring of Honor World Champion Tyler Black, Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion Claudio Castagnoli, the Master of the Dark Hado Kenny Omega, Colt Boom Boom Cabana, Dasher Hatfield, and Sugar Dunkerton. On commentary, Jim Cornette.
Wow. I didn't even know any of that stuff was still up anywhere.
I found a post about it on GameDev.net.
That's super interesting.
Oh, there was like pictures of the in progress models for some of the characters, and they're not there anymore.
Oh, it sucks.
Oh, I think a friend of the show, WrestleDev, might have commented on this post.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is a 4-page thread. Wow, what the fuck?
Still can't find it, but I'll look it up later after we're done here.
Hold on.
But yeah, that's, just another one that was talked about back in the day that a lot of people either didn't hear or didn't remember. So that's why anytime something new pops up, you've got to be cautious with what they're saying and If it's
Found the
actually gonna.
arena test for Pro Wrestling Zen,
Oh, okay.
and it looks like it's a first person. This is clearly a fucking mod for like an FPS.
Huh? Do
The
you remember?
cameraman, the camera is like a dude. I mean, maybe that's a camera, but that clearly looks like a gun with like an ammo counter and shit.
Oh, it's not the same guy that was like. I don't know if you remember, but there was this guy that was claiming to be a developer, and like he was making a game, and it was like you could. The game was like open world, and you could like travel from city to city and
Oh, Wrestleson.
WrestleSyn. That's it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
no,
him,
I
is it?
remember that shit.
That stuff was fucking awful. And you tell people there was another one people like hyped about, and you'd like, no, this is super sketch. Like he was posting animations from like the WWE games, and like you had like the modders and stuff calling him out on it. Remember, he
Oh,
pretended
this
to be
is
Bray
so
Wyatt
heavy.
too,
Yeah, yeah, I do.
and
Yeah.
then he claimed he was working with him, and at some point he pretended to be CM Punk and was like taking money from kids. I think
Well,
he was like WWE Anonymous.
oh, yeah, I remember that.
Fuck.
I'm trying to remember who it was on Fire Pro Club that claimed they were making their own. They're obviously Sonny Bone talked about making a game for years. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I don't know. I don't know where he is. He's gone back to his little hobbit hole or something. I have no idea. Um,
Feels like it's been a minute since we've talked about Sonny Bone.
he used to be on Twitter, but I haven't seen him on there in a while, so I don't know what he's up to. Uh, yeah, Suplex was his game. And then maybe he's just
I
maybe he's hidden in the cave. I don't know.
There was another wrestling game that I remember being in development in the 2000s that was like, oh, this is going to be the most revolutionary wrestling game ever. At the same time, PWX was a thing, and I was like 12 years old, like
Yeah,
motherfucker.
not Saturday nights. They didn't really promise anything outside of their like.
Oh, they promised like create a death match and stuff, but that was like the mid
Yeah,
2010s.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that was Dino Winwood. I remember telling me they were hoping to get a fucking conversation with the people that own the Aki source code. And I was like, buddy, PWX made them an offer and they did not go for it. And he was like, oh, I have a friend who's good at BSing. And I was like, good luck, man.
yeah.
Your
You know,
friend may be good at BSing, but is he good at BSing KG Japanese businessmen? I don't think I believe so.
I'm surprised after all these wrestling games, there wasn't like a bunch of like promised like MMA games because you think that would have been the next step, but that never really happened.
No.
Interesting.
I think it's because, especially with MMA, it's understood immediately people are only going to buy something with the UFC branding.
Mm. And it doesn't really have the same history as obviously as those wrestling games do.
Mm-mm. Like MMA games are like a decidedly like Dreamcast PS2 console generation thing, unless you want to count rings,
Yeah.
which I don't know that I do, but not that era of rings at least. I wouldn't mind it, but like MMA is so weirdly like you have to basically design a grappling game and a striking game.
Yeah, it's not something I need. It's just I just thought it was curious that like there wasn't anybody promising like the ultimate MMA game or something like that. But you're right. Like I think people understand about UFC. There's not much to it, but I guess wrestling fans are more open to an idea of a non WWE licensed product because we've had them before. Um, I don't know. I'm just trying to remember other products. Like I said, that was like VPW 2K or VPW 3. I don't remember what it was called, but I want to say they were going to put them on cartridges, and the cartridges might have been gold. And there was a forum, and there was a lot of people talking about that at the time, and that just disappeared. No, looking back now, it was like obviously very unrealistic. But as a kid, I was like, wow, they're gonna do this stuff and it's gonna be great. And yeah.
Oh, speaking of MMA games, I guess some details have come out about UFC 6.
Hmm.
Apparently, it's going to be the first game on the PC in that series. Actually, it would be the
Oh,
first
that's
UFC
interesting.
game ever on PC.
Yeah.
Um, so that's something. Mike Straw hinted that there might be a striking overhaul coming, which I was playing that game online last night, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I do not think that game needs a striking overhaul. That game badly needs the grappling overhaul.
I haven't played it in years, but like the idea of it being on PC is very interesting because obviously you talk about mods. Um, I wonder what could be done with that, or it's like AEA just I don't know what AE modding is like for their sports games, but the idea of like removing all the UFC branding and just giving me a break game would be very cool.
One of the things, I guess Mike Straw hinted that there was going to be a highly requested feature in the game. And as far as those games go, Pride Mode's like the one thing everybody's been asking for since EA got the license.
Yeah.
So if it's not that, I don't know what it is. He hinted at a summer release, basically before college football and Madden. They don't like to release their sports games so close together. Um, the rumor is Max Holloway is going to have a showcase mode type thing in the game. So like this is the first showcase mode where you're going to actively get CTE because Max Holloway takes a lot of damage in his fights. He also deals a lot of damage, but I guess the spring is when we're going to get more information. Oh, you know what? Max Holloway's fighting on March 7th. What are the odds? What are the odds
Oh,
we
there you
get a
go.
trailer
No,
there? If he's really going to be the cover story.
I'm just like thinking all about mods now. Like my brain's exploding. Like if you could like put in like original UFC with the old logo and everything, and you could have like no gloves. Like if you could do shit like that, that'd be so cool. And then you could have like Pride, and then maybe like Pancreas or something. Oh, I'm excited now. I need to. Speaking of expectation, I need to be like, I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think if they just change the fucking grappling, like go back to the system that they had, which was a ripoff of what Ukes did with UFC Undisputed.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no reason for like the way they have it now is you tilt the analog stick in one direction, but if the other person also tilts in a different direction, like they win automatically. Like there's you can hold down a button and try to guess the direction they're going and that'll stop their transition, but it nukes your fucking stamina, which that's not how grappling works.
Do they have like a more simplified like alternate arcade control scheme or something like that?
That is the more simplified control scheme.
Is it okay?
Yeah, they,
No.
they took away like the more complicated one and told everybody to get fucked.
Oh, okay. I haven't played them in years, like I said, so I know my nephew plays
I,
it, but
I think UFC 3 was when they changed it, then they changed it again in 4.
yeah, I think two was the last one I played.
That was the one with Sakuraba.
Yeah, Sakuraba with a full entrance and stuff. That'd be very cool.
And not only did it have Sakuraba, but it had Sakuraba in about 13 weight classes. Not literally 13, but you could
Yeah,
play as him in basically every fucking weight class, it felt like.
I
Which,
want
that's
like
true to the spirit of Saku.
I want like original UFC guys, like the dude that was crazy with the mullet from Canada,
Harold
and
Howard.
yeah,
There's a
I
video about him on YouTube I recommend everybody listen to because it is
oh,
insane.
I want Emmanuel Harborough. That was his name, right?
Yarborough.
Harborough. Yeah, I want him in it. I want I want the ability to punch guys in the nuts. Yeah, why hasn't somebody done that? Like, that's an idea. If you want to be different, like an old bare knuckle MMA game would be such a cool idea.
Apparently, bare knuckle mode is another thing people are requesting because Jorge Masvidal had his bare knuckle MMA company.
Mm. Dude, what should be like Power Slap or some shit?
Mm, no, God, no.
Where you like hold the controller back and then move forward to determine the power of your slap, like a
Wii Sports Power Slap.
yeah, or like a golf game or some shit. God,
Has that piece of shit Masada made his Power Slap debut yet? And if so, did he get fucking folded?
I have no idea. I know they were looking at a bunch of indie people. They had
I know they had
Z-
Hollywood Haley J.
is her name Zeta Zhang? She was in NXT for a little bit. I know
Mm. And
Zhang.
that Alice Crowley chick that was doing like death matches or whatever, I think she basically just works for ICP now.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Juicy Finale, the guy that was part of the new Samoan SWAT team in
Yeah,
MLW, he's been
yeah.
on there. I don't watch. I see the thumbnails on YouTube because I think what it is because I've watched a bunch of UFC shit. It's like, oh, you must like everything that this company's involved in, and no, I don't.
I was flicking through one day and there was that on and it was like Russian or something and there was like influencers slapping each other, like female influencers or whatever. And then I put on the Fight Network one time and they were like, there was an MMA coffin match where
How does that work?
two dudes in the coffin and the goal is to escape to win, I guess. How I understood it. It's a thing, apparently.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I mean, they're fighting in cars, they're fighting in coffins. They should do
I
church
saw
MMA.
I saw a video on Instagram of somebody rage baiting Dana White by going, "Yeah, I don't really watch Power Slap. Everything's the fucking same." And
Yeah,
Dana got really nice, like, well, do you watch fights? And it's like, buddy, there's like a million things that can happen in an MMA fight.
exactly. My idea is for church MMA is you put them in confessional and um the priest is the referee on the other side, and basically you win by escaping confessional. I think that's a good idea.
Imagine doing the Fry Takayama hockey clinch in a church
you,
confessional
you get holy water between rounds.
instead of just proper hydration. They just blast you with the holy water. Yeah.
Yeah, they put a piece of bread in your mouth instead of a mouth guard. I've got some ideas, let me tell you.
I know that I know that Dana threatened to make a Power Slap video game a few years ago.
Doesn't it seem like something that would be on mobile?
Yeah, there is one,
Oh, is there?
but he
Okay.
was talking like a console game.
Oh, God.
How the fuck do you get people to pay $60 for that?
You should. They should get slapped in the face when they purchase it.
Yeah, like how do you make a video game out of that? Like it's a series of fucking QuickTime events.
I
It's Legends
don't
of
know.
WrestleMania, except not nearly as cool.
Yeah, there's not going to be some. There's not going to be a lot of variety.
No, and like you can't even throw a different slap. Like you can't palm strike somebody in Power Slap. That shit would probably be a lot more entertaining.
What's like? What do you do when you're training to like slap the base or something? What's like your mini games in
I
between
guess they
fights?
I guess they slap heavy bags and shit, which feels
Oh
like a great way
God.
to fuck your wrists up.
Yeah. You know, I could probably do that stuff. I've got a powerful slap on my left hand. There's a
I
video of me slapping a friend on the internet.
I mean, if you could throw like a palm strike,
Oh
like
yeah,
instead of just a slap, you throw just like a straight palm strike. But then I guess it's not really a slap. It's not power, shote. It's power slap.
I used to. It was one night I had too much to drink. I went to a friend's house and he was standing in the front yard. He's like, "Oh hey," because that's how we would always say hi. "Oh hey," and I went and just slapped him, and then they slapped me back, and yeah, it rocked me. I didn't fall though. And then I went in. Another friend was on the couch sleeping, and I slapped him too. It felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. I heard the numbers for those UFC Paramount shows, and they're kind of crazy because it's like 5 million people. Those have to be by far the biggest like numbers they've done because they didn't do those numbers on like fucking Fox, and they were way
Yeah,
hotter when they were on Fox than when they were on ABC and ESPN. I know allegedly they broke their pay-per-view record a couple of times on fucking ESPN, which I in the era when ESPN Plus was like $5 and the pay-per-views were 50, I could probably see it. You're not going to convince me that a couple of those that they claimed did like 2 million buys when it was like $80. I don't think that's fucking legit, but like I saw the thing they're doing with the March 7th show where the last hour of the prelims and the first hour of the main card are going to be on CBS. And I guess that's going to be the idea going forward is the big quote unquote cards you get like the little teaser on like actual TV. And
I I have not watched UFC in years, and I wish it wasn't popular. I wish that company was dead.
I wish Pride won.
Yeah, yeah. I'd give me a Yakuza run company over like a government fellatio giving company like UFC.
There's going to be a rude awakening for TKO when the worm turns on the shit that's currently happening.
Yeah, I mean, it was very interesting to see the AEW crowd chanting "fuck Ace" and all the pub that got. Um, and the fact that they didn't follow up on it by putting the belt on Brody was just. I mean, I knew they weren't going to,
You know
but
what
like,
offends me more than that is who's wrestling Max at Revolution. And let
oh
me just say,
God,
Max has the chance to do the funniest fucking thing ever on Wednesday. Because did you see the thing he said on Barstool Sports?
no.
He said that, pedophilia is not okay. I think he just needs to look Hangman in the face and go, hey, what are your thoughts on that, Hangman? And then when
Hmm.
Hangman tries to say something, just put the fucking picture up on the screen. Max has the chance to become like the biggest baby face in AEW.
Why?
Maybe
I
walk out with an umbrella, just really just like jab him with a couple times.
yeah, dressed like a plague doctor. I don't know. I don't know who that match is for. Isn't that in LA as well?
Yeah.
Like, would you not have taken advantage of like the Hispanic population and had Andrade win to wrestle
Andrade,
Max?
who's on fire right now, and people are really fucking like hyped about it.
And you've got like plants in the crowd taking selfies with him, but instead you're gonna put Hangman over. Why?
Hangman, who cooled off rapidly, like independent of the Skrull thing, like I know he's got like his little cult of fans on Blue Sky because the thing about a lot of people on Blue Sky, and this is a lot, not everybody, because there are people that I'm friends with that are on Blue Sky, and this doesn't apply to them. But when I scrolled through the replies to all the stuff about Hangman and Skrull, it's like, oh, you guys are just the blue hat version of the guys on Twitter making excuses for the same shit. Like I get that like Hangman's got that little like cult fan base on Blue Sky, but like I look in those comments on Instagram and some of them aren't real nice about Hangman anymore. And they weren't even before that. Like independent of that, people turned on Hangman again
I mean,
after
it,
after he
it,
won the belt because they booked him like shit.
yeah. I mean, it felt like Tony himself turned on Hangman because he dropped the title. The title, it didn't have a long reign. Um, so I don't know why we're back here again. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, Andrade would have been the obvious choice, but I think the idea is they're going to have, like, if Ospreay's back in time for Wembley, I think the idea is he's getting coronated on that one. And
fuck. I just don't. Why are we back to like? Even though, yeah, okay, Ospreay putting the title on him, like, I would have rather had like even Andrade have like a short reign and lose it to Ospreay than seeing Max in the main event at Wembley. It's like,
again, because remember, first time he was the main event.
Yeah, that match was horrible.
The worst fucking main event ever, and then he topped it 3 months later with Jay White.
Yeah, you could have had Kikataro in the main event of that card, and it would have probably been the same. You know, it was a comedy.
You know what might have fixed a lot of issues? If they would have just swapped the fucking timing of the 2 world title matches on All In 2023.
Yeah.
If you just had the world title match that didn't suck go on last, that might have been something.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't have had the ability a year later to sit in the Nutter Center in Dayton and really piss off a guy in front of me by just fucking putting over the scapegoat all night. Dude in front of me was wearing a Punk shirt, and like this is before like I started to cool off on Punk, and then last year was just like, nah, fuck him, I hate him, I hope he dies. But like I was just like, that's the fucking scapegoat, bro. And I could tell like the dude's posture kept changing, like he was so mad. And I was like, that's my fucking TNT champion, bro. And if Punk doesn't go on first that night, I don't get the ability to do that. So maybe I wouldn't have changed it. But like, yeah, I heard the Max and Bandito match was really good. I haven't seen it. I also I like Bandito. He needs a new finish. That the 21 plex fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's not great.
And I've thought that about him for like years. Like, does a lot of really shit. He should dash the finish.
Yeah.
And I got a message last night that like the match he had with Brody was apparently good too.
Yeah, I haven't seen last night's show yet. It's just I'm really don't like a lot of the decisions that are being made. It's I don't know. I'm
what like ice cold on watching that product right now, honestly. Like I don't I got tricked into liking Hangman again. I was like, yeah, they finally booked him right, and he's the fucking guy. And then that Max match at Forbidden Door happened, and I was like, yeah, well, that was just Max. And then he has the really good match with Fletcher. And then the more I think about it, like, oh yeah, who was he in the ring with? And then like the Samoa Joe stuff was like, their match at Wrestle Dream was yeah. And then Joe beats him, and it's like, fuck yeah, we finally got a world champion again. Like, and I kind of remember that being my arc with Hangman when he won the belt the first. It doesn't help that his first 2 defenses are against fucking Danielson.
Mm.
And those are also like the 2 best matches he ever had. Hold on, I'm doing a little bit of math here. Yeah, that checks out. But then like he has the match with Lance Archer. That was okay. And then he has a fucking terrible pair of matches with Adam Cole. I don't blame Hangman for those. And then, you know, the Punk match happened, and there was all the drama and bullshit surrounding it. And I remember thinking at the time the Punk match was really fucking weird. It might have also been that show ran until like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had to be up at 6. I was a little bit sleepy. Could have been that too.
Do you think Styles will actually go there, or do you think he saw the fuck Ace chant and was like, "No, I'm not"?
I just from like a match quality perspective, I really want to see AJ in AEW. There's a lot of guys in that company I think you could have good matches with, because like there was a point where it was like, fuck, he's just not good anymore. And then he has that match with Cody, the Burning Hammer match that everybody lost their minds over, and Kobashi was just liking every tweet about the Burning Hammer. That was the thing. Like, one of my mutuals on Twitter was, how the fuck could you say that's cool? That's so disrespectful. And I was just like, go look at Kobashi's likes, dog. He thinks it's the shit. But like, he had that match. And I remember the follow-up match was really good too, like the I Quit match. I haven't seen like anything AJ did like after that. But those 2 matches were like, oh yeah, no, AJ still got it.
Yeah,
so, like,
I mean, You run AJ and Kenny, and all you have to do is show like the Kenny turning on him and becoming the leader of the Bullet Club, right? Like that's an easy
Yeah,
setup.
yeah, and like depending on what Osprey's like when he comes back, I can't imagine. And for the record, none of my endorsements of people as wrestlers on this show have ever meant I think they're good people. I'm a grown
Mm.
up. I've watched wrestling my entire life. I know that all of these people fucking suck. But like, if Osprey comes back, I can't imagine he's not going to go like 100 miles an hour. So like, him and AJ would be interesting. AJ Styles and Darby Allin, like, fuck.
Do you get Daniels to come out of retirement for one match and run the triple threat again with Joe?
Oh, see, that's God. I want to say yes, but like they are not going to be capable of topping what they did in 2009.
Oh
And that's
no,
a really good match. That match is incredible.
yeah, it's going to be like a completely just nostalgia based, like remember this type thing. Um,
You know what? If they ran that, they need to run that Edition Financial Services Arena in Orlando.
yeah,
You want to sell that building out? There you go.
bring back
But I
Tom Cole and we get the Christian Coalition.
is Tomko still in jail for when he asked Applebee's if they had a deeper spoon?
I thought he was like super religious and shit now, and I don't know.
Yeah, that checks out. I
Um,
just it's one of those matches I think you leave the memory where it is. Like
leave the memories alone.
you know what you do? You do a casino gauntlet and you have all three of them in the ring at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because the three-way stare down would get people on their feet. Because as much as people want to downplay like mid 2000s, maybe they don't anymore because TNA's Fed adjacent. But as much as people used to try to downplay mid 2000s TNA, everybody fucking knew about that three-way match.
It, it's
Everybody.
it's funny because I saw people like, oh, he should retire in TNA, and you look, there's more history of him in AEW than there is in that, actual TNA. When you think about
Yeah.
everybody that's there, Daniels, Joe, you've got Jerry Lynn works there, right? You could do something there, and even if Lynn's not going to wrestle again, he's probably not in shape for it anymore. But you could do something there. You could do a storyline. Um, if Sting wanted to make an appearance, there's something there too. Uh, they still got Ric Flair in the contract. You want to bring back Fortune? Go right ahead. Uh,
Well, no, because they don't have Kazarian. He's in TNA.
oh yeah, that's a big miss. What a piece of the puzzle that is. I don't know. Obviously, you can do like a 6-man tag with the Bucks. Yeah, there's just like a lot you can do with AJ and AEW, and it does feel like a missed
Oh, you know what
opportunity for
happens
his
though?
career.
If they bring in AJ, they're bringing in Gallows and Anderson.
I know. Oh,
You know, I only want Gallows coming in if he's doing Sex Ferguson.
maybe they won't bring them in because they're in Noah. Noah can just keep. They're not available. They're on a tour. They could just lie to AJ and be like, "No, they're in Japan. Sorry, we can't bring them in."
I feel like wherever he goes, they're gonna go.
I know. I know.
So like, I mean, him and Biscuits and Guns versus Kenny and the Bucks would have been a big match like 5 years ago when they originally wanted AJ to come in.
Yeah, I mean, the Bullet Club's dead now, so I mean, they could put it together as like this is the end of the Bullet Club, even though it's already dead. Like this is the official ending or whatever.
Or just fucking Tony could probably just get the Bullet Club IP from New Japan and just give it to those guys.
Yeah, for like one final run. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
mid 2010s nostalgia is a thing that's happening right now, and I feel like I'm going through some sort of weird psychosis experiencing that. But
we
like,
could we would get demigods back.
dude, in fucking Slim J, who used to be in AEW, was on that track. I've always thought that was really funny
Yep.
because when I saw that uploaded on the ROH World Forum, I saw the two names attached, and I was like, wait, Slim J, like the dude that was in like Special K, that guy. And then he was on the Dean shows, and he had like the really well received match with I think it was Adam Priest on the first Dean show, which was awesome. I think he wrestles Beast Mordos on the second one.
Oh, nice.
That's a guy that should have just had an AEW deal. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason you've kept people that are way worse than him for way longer. that guy could have just been a staple of the ROH show.
Yeah.
Why
I
did we
think
not get Shibata versus Slim J? That's what the fuck I want to know.
I think obviously you could run AJ and Okada again. Um, I feel like him and Bandito would be pretty good.
Yeah, I said
So
it before, but like AJ and Darby.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do. I mean, I don't know how many matches he'd actually won, but like
AJ and
hell of an
Moxley. Let's see if they can actually have a good match because the Fed ones weren't good, but I don't blame either of them for that.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of the shitty Moxley stuff in WWE past a certain point, especially if you read his book, that guy didn't fucking care.
No, and you could tell.
Yeah, he wanted out so fucking badly.
Like they had him work with Nia Jax at the end. Remember that?
No, I wasn't watching at the time.
Yeah, they had him in a feud with Nia Jax.
Yeah, he's had some real fucking low points in AEW, but for about the last, basically when they got him away from Edge and they did the trios title change, like 95% of the shit he's done since then has been really fucking good.
The best thing that happened to him was getting rid of that world title.
Yeah, fucking for real. Like he was great in the fucking T1 last year, the Derby matches. The Wrestle Dream match would have benefited from not being in fucking St. Louis. Because you can't do blood, you can't do any of the really
Right.
like once I realized like, oh no, the Missouri State Commission are just a bunch of fuckers. Like that match isn't as bad to me as it was live. But that was also it was that match on that pay-per-view, which ran a fucking half an hour longer than the 4 hour window. And everybody was like, Tony, my brother in Christ, can you please stop doing this?
Hey, we've got news.
Oh,
Breaking news.
oh no.
No, it's good. A sneak peek
We're not
at
gonna have to fix it, are we?
fix what?
Whatever the breaking news was.
Oh no. Very very good pun. No, this is good. It's a sneak peek at Bastante Bueno Lucha Libre version 1.5. This is a video that's over 3 minutes long, showing off dives from cages and looks like new arenas. This shit looks cool.
Oh. This game was
Oh,
always like super interesting, and I've played it on the Steam Deck. Um, yeah, this is the shit right here.
yeah. Look at that arena's got like nitro style padding on the floor. That's cool.
6-sided ring. That looks cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the exaggerated animations.
The like some of the bumps with like flying in the air gives it sort of like a All Stars feel a little bit. Oh shit! An uppercut right
Yeah.
to the outside. That's cool. Double dives. All right. Yeah. Almost.
This was made by a guy, and the context is important. This was made by a guy who like wanted to learn to code in Unreal, so he started making a wrestling game, and this looks better than a lot of. I don't want to compare it to anything else, but this looks better than anything Virtual Basement shown, and it like just visually looks better than UPW. It's also going for a different like style and aesthetic, but
Whoa.
like
Yeah. I mean, it's so bright and colorful, and
unique and stylish.
I just saw a power bomb reversed into an arm drag. That was cool. It looks like
Oh,
if you
there's
had
like
like
an interviewer now,
if you had
like
like
a title mode.
four people playing, it would be a blast.
Yeah, this looks like
Oh,
it captures kind of the
uh,
spirit of the Aki games.
the ring with the nitro style padding on the outside also has a nitro style apron. That's cool. What is that? Like the steel cage match?
This game looks nuts. I love it. Yeah, this looks a lot.
2026 at the end.
Oh, there's a ring that kind of has like a GCW logo in the middle of it. Oh, that's the Nitro style arena. That's funny. The middle of the ring logo kind of looks like the GCW logo. Also
That
looks like the
makes
Nitro logo.
Yeah, that makes me happy that
Wait, that one camera angle that it's from like the 16-bit like side camera.
yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, buddy, I am excited about this one.
I was told that he was still
Yeah,
working on it, and he was just, be quiet while he's maybe he had some other things going on. I don't know. I didn't, didn't.
I think when I saw Twitter, he DM'd me the same thing. Like, yeah, I just want to let you know I'm still working on the game. Dude,
Um,
that is so fucking exciting. Oh god, you know what? I can't see myself not using the 16-bit like side camera.
is that maybe that's just for steel cage matches?
Maybe I would hope. I mean, you have a direct line to him still because you still have Twitter. Like,
Oh,
ask
he's
if
on.
that's like
Yeah, I should ask. Yeah.
huh? Ask if that's like just for those matches or if that's like just a camera option. And if it's not, ask him if it's possible to make it a camera option because I am geeked on that. That is so cool. I mean, there's also like the regular camera angle for the rest of the game shown in cage match gameplay in the trailer too.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering.
that makes me happy. That's a good thing to see.
Yeah, we were just shitting on the state of everything, and then Bastante Bueno was like, "Fear not, my friends." Like, there's
Yeah,
one.
that's a feel good thing for sure.
Yeah, you gotta hit him up on that. That Nitro esque arena is so fucking cool.
It looks like maybe you can have a different setting for the outside and the ring because I saw the nitro padding on the outside was with a different ring in one clip, so maybe that's an option.
I love everything about the way this game looks. I've never said anything less than a glowingly positive word about this fucking game because it's so this is so up my alley. I've always loved Lucha Libre. I love obviously the old Aki games. This game feels like it captures not the actual essence of the gameplay because it's a little over the top,
Mm-hmm.
but it feels like somebody that really understands the fundamental spirit of what makes those games fun.
There's one
And
clip where the chair just goes flying at the camera. That's funny.
like here's a spoiler to everybody attempting like to make an Aki style wrestling. This goes from PWX Dave on down. The fun of those games isn't necessarily one-to-oneing the gameplay. If you can do it, that's great. But like if you have something that's close enough and it looks really fun to play, that's the true magic of the Aki style video games. Because like Def Jam Vendetta doesn't play one-to-one like No Mercy. It is more cartoony. It is more over the top. It's still an incredibly fun game. That's not fair though, because Aki did develop that. But
I don't.
like we need more projects like Bastante Bueno Lucha Libre. Whatever happened to that one Joshi game that was being developed?
The turn-based one.
There was that one, yes, but there was also another one, wasn't there? Or did the other one that I'm thinking of become that one?
I think it became that one. I'm not. There was another Jewish game that became something else, but uh,
Oh, I'm not talking about the one that that Lynch weirdo was developing.
yeah, I don't know what happened to that project. It's another game that just sort of disappeared. It'd be nice
Yeah,
if we
I
got
mean
an
that'll.
update on Neckbreaker next.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a screenshot from that trailer, and like this sets off like every fucking available neuron in my brain.
Yeah, that looks really cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Whenever this game comes out, if it's like an actual, I mean, he did release a free version, right? Or was that just to us?
No, he was releasing like demo versions, and I asked him
That's
specifically, like,
right.
hey, could I have like an update on this? And he sent me something, and I was like, oh shit, this is really cool still. Just gets better
Yeah.
and better with each update. Yeah, this screenshot is. For those wondering, it's a screenshot of like the cage match with like the pulled back camera. And I've asked if that's just for cage matches or not. We'll see what he says about that. But I'm hyped.
It feels so weird to be optimistic about a wrestling video game. It's like I feel all like tingly and happy inside.
And,
Is this
and
true joy?
here's the key, folks. You can actually play a version of this game for yourself and get a feeling of it, and get a feeling of what the end product's going to be like. This isn't just words and promising they're gonna send a Playboy Playmate to your house when you get the finished project. No, this is like you can actually play it and see what's happening.
Oh, speaking of virtual basement,
I forgot to
2022 was
say.
all gameplay,
I forgot to
but
say. Speaking of
like
Playboy,
speaking of virtual basement, 2022 was supposed to be all gameplay. Maybe they meant it was all gameplay for the game they're developing. It's not the wrestling code.
yeah, that's another thing. Like when you're pulled to I assume that they're doing that to add funding to the wrestling code.
For
I
sure.
think that's how it works. But like, you don't want to
Yeah.
hear that because that means more delays regarding that, and like, what is it exactly what they're working on? How much time is it going to take? And yada yada.
Yeah, I'm happy that Bastante Bueno is still being worked on. It looks so fucking good. There's so much personality.
That ring too sort of gives WCW vibes a little bit with the yellow turnbuckles and stuff. Just the when it comes to American wrestling, you only really saw like yellow turnbuckles from WCW and ECW, so it's always nice to see colors changing and stuff like that. I suppose just like everything being all white or black, so that's cool. What if they
This
have
looks so
custom rings?
cool.
It's excited
Yeah,
to steel
maybe.
cage too. That's something we haven't even said that it's excited for the steel cage match.
Yeah, and it's 6 sides with a blue bar cage, which imagine how much of a nightmare that would be to put up in real life. Like the 4 side cage seemed like a motherfucker anyway. Imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Lucha Libre, Fig Heel got the Dynastia Munoz figures in.
Oh, okay.
I did not watch his reviews, and it's ironic I'm saying that right now, because I'm gonna watch the KWK Fig Heel thing in like an hour and a half as of when we're sitting here recording this. But I saw his pictures and like, dude, like I put over Zombie as like having the best product, but like if we're talking like full articulation and stuff, nobody tops Boss Fight. They have those things are like Marvel Legends in terms of articulation, a little bit of Storm collectibles with like the soft PVC upper torso. The paint applications are always on point. And also I'm always gonna love a Lucha Libre line because it's outside of like Arena Mexico and Arena bootlegs, it is such an underrepresented part of professional wrestling in terms of
Yeah.
action figures. And the fact that Boss Fight came out and it was like I remember the day I got the Fenix and Penta figures. Penta's a little bit too short, like way too short. But I remember just sitting there kind of like dicking around with the Fenix figure going, this is the best wrestling figure I've ever gotten my hands on. Like you can pose him 9 million different ways. And I like the Conan and Lady Maravilla ones. Fanaticos Ultimo and Hoovy are both pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing the Ultimo and Solar figures in person, obviously. And the Munoz Dynasty figures are going to be a trip to see in person too. Because with the AEW line basically being shuttered, this is our only Roosh figure.
Yeah, like everything they do looks really good, and I didn't want to purchase another Ultimo Dragon, but like after seeing that new one, I'm like, oh god damn it.
Hopefully, they get like a Canadian distributor, so it's a little bit easier on you.
Well, they did, if I remember correctly, I think they had Ultimo Dragon in stores and GameStop here, but I had already ordered it online at that point. I really wanted that Vampiro because it's basically a WCW Vampiro, so I was like,
He comes with the WSX belt too.
yeah, and then I heard that the figure had some problems. I still want it, but I don't know if I can get it anywhere right now for a solid price. Actually, I think I got the dragon off Amazon, Amazon.ca, because I emailed them after that and I was like, "Hey, you're gonna do Amazon again?" And they said, "Oh, those are bought for buyers," and they put them up on Amazon. But when I ordered it, I thought it said that they were sold through their own store. So I don't know, whatever the case was, but yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get it again.
Boss Fight does cool stuff. I said it to Kevin Kleinrock. I really, really hope this line continues. Them going back down to 2 figures after the previous wave was 3 figures, which was down from the previous wave, which was 4 figures,
Yeah.
worries me a little bit. Boss Fight's been acquiring other licenses like Hellboy, which is funny because McFarlane's doing Hellboy. And, they've got the Conan license. They've got, like, Garfield and Popeye and shit. But what I've always heard is that their highest selling figures are the wrestling figures. To sink this in, if you want a gauge of like how well Boss Fight stuff sells, the MLW figures did like amazingly well for them. And then MLW ended that deal and went with Power Town, which is like Court Bauer is a fucking slimy ass carny. How the hell did he not sniff out what was going on with Power Town?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. I think the Mattel Jacob Fatu figures are pretty cool. I don't think any of them are better than the MLW one.
Sorry, I got distracted here by 2 different things.
Oh, no.
Apparently Naomi Marufuchi has shot something with Netflix. I don't know what that's about. And Cage Match exposed the identity of the new Hayabusa. I didn't know that.
Who is it?
You want me to say it on air? I don't want to spoil it for people.
Send it to me. I just want to see if it's somebody who's like an actual name.
I'll tell you this: he's older than you might think, which might not say a lot for his longevity, to be honest. I send it to you.
Well, see, I see that name and I'm like, wait, that one? But like,
Yeah,
no,
no,
it's
not that
clearly
one.
not that one. Wow, he's 40 years old. Or I'm sorry, 39.
Yeah. If you look at his Instagram and stuff, you can see face-wise it does seem to be him.
God, they were putting it over like this is the next generation Hayabusa. I thought like they went and got some young guy who wasn't even alive when the original Hayabusa was still around, but
That's
no.
crazy, isn't it?
God damn.
I mean, maybe they can pass it on to somebody else when he's done, because yeah, 39 years old. Holy shit.
Hold on, I gotta see this. So who is he trained by? Doesn't actually say. So
I
wait,
recognize his
he's
name.
39. He's 39. He didn't start wrestling until 2019.
Good lord.
It's never too late, bro. We could go get trained, bro. Like,
If you look at his history, like, yeah, it makes sense that's who it is.
oh yeah, he's just like a little indie shithead.
Also, some All Japan matches in there too.
This is so fucking weird. Oh, I forgot they paired him up with Shinzaki against Mammoth Sasaki and Masato Tanaka. Did that make tape?
I don't
Did
know.
a Mama Sasaki match make tape in 2020? No, it didn't. God damn it!
I'm
Sorry.
kind of sad now. Nothing against the guy, but like, I don't know how long you're going to be around for, dude.
Okay, so I sent the Bastante Bueno trailer to
Oh,
a couple of people, and everybody's freaking the fuck out over it. Everybody's hyped.
oh, he was doing. Oh, he was full on doing like a mask gimmick before, right? Yeah.
Speaking of Bastante Bueno Lucha Libre, do you remember like the original demo he put out with like trans magic playing in the background?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I loved that shit.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people love Holdout and Triumph. Um, Trans Magic's my favorite Muto theme, specifically the one that
Oh,
doesn't have the Austin Glass Shatter.
yeah. And now you. Oh God, Jesus Christ! What's my favorite Muto theme? I have a soft spot for Outbreak because I begged a Japanese person on MSN for an MP3 file of that, and he sent it to me, and I was like, hell yeah! Way back in like 2001. I mean, I really love Holdout. I love NWO Triumph. I love Triumph. Not a big fan of Symbol.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't like that one.
God, it's hard because Holdout is like classic, right?
It's the one I think of when I think of Muto, but I
It's
may or may
also
not have used Trans Magic as a backyard theme. Also,
Holdout is also in WCW. Well, a ripoff of it is in the WCW NWO World Tour. I think I'd still have
that's
to go for
right.
Outbreak. Yeah. Favorite reboot I theme
Look,
though.
my favorite's probably just Praise Bloom, the All Japan one, because like I've always liked that Muta is just like a more traditional Japanese sounding version of like Holdout. Like I've always thought that was
Mm,
like a really cute bit.
yeah.
But like I may or may not have used Praise Bloom as a backyard theme.
I've got to go with like I don't know what the actual title is, like Create Muda, cause I've seen it called
Sankiba?
Concerto. Uh, the pre NWO and then into NWO theme.
The one that he has in like Token.
Yeah, the one that he has when he wrestles Nita. Like I fucking love that song.
Yes. That one's good too,
Um,
yeah.
the one he had after that I believe he wanted to use in WCW. He used it when he wrestled Power Warrior and came out with Mona before he went to WCW. It's like it's almost like a techno style song. It doesn't really fit doesn't really fit Muta that well, but it was an okay song. Um, its WCW theme's really good, not the stereotypical Japanese one, but the one that's in WWE 2K. I forget its name now.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't remember.
the NWA one that he used. God. And like after Praise Bloom, like a lot of stuff he used was like just like sort of variations of his like first New Japan theme, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. He's a guy that doesn't really have any like really shitty fucking theme songs.
No, even his the two themes he had as Kokushi were really good as well.
Yeah. Looking back, I had a lot of very weirdly specific like backyard wrestling theme songs. It's funny because if I told you I used like trans magic, you'd probably think I was like just being chubby white boy Keiji Muto. I wasn't. I
I
I
was.
used that theme while wrestling as like when I yarded, I was like this weird hybrid, especially at that point, like 14, 15 years old. I was like this weird hybrid of like Mike Awesome, Samoa Joe, and fucking like Taue, a little bit of Kobashi in there. It wasn't good for the people I was backyarding with. Thank God, like at least one of them had a trampoline. But like, yeah, I would just whatever Japanese wrestlers theme song I thought was cool, I would just use that. Destructive Power. I will tell you that the few times I yarded with my friends and I used the No Fear / Takayama theme, that was what I did. I just did Takayama stuff. I apologize to anybody listening to this that backyarded with me in the mid 2000s. If you took a knee to the sternum from me, it wasn't personal. I swear. I'm sorry.
We didn't really backyard wrestle, like we just fuck around, but we did at one point try to do something, and like we posted on I made like a homestead page for it, and someone from like the US or something was like, "How can I join?" And I was like, "It's a backyard fed. You can start your own."
Dude, I remember seeing all the backyard clips on like wrestling figs and like some of the other assorted websites in the early 2000s. And I remember one of my friends was at my house and we were like, dude, we're better wrestlers than these guys. Like, just the sloppiest, most uncoordinated looking shit in some of those videos. And like,
Yeah.
there was this one guy, his name was like the Chad. He popped up on one of those GCW backyard shows. And I remember like every clip of him I saw was just him beating up his girlfriend in a backyard
Oh,
match.
okay.
I saw like three, like an unprotected chair shot, the Super Dragon curb
Oh,
stomp into a chair. And I just remember like on wrestling figs in that circle, he was considered like the best backyarder. And I was like, this guy sucks. Like, your curb stomp looks like shit, pal. Sorry to let you know, but you might suck a little bit. I really love. So there's a backyard wrestling channel that's like primarily like Southern California backyard stuff from like the early 2000s. I have been watching way more of that than I have actual professional wrestling lately. I just want to say real quick, shout outs Tommy Malice, shout outs Stray Cat, shout outs John Marcher, Andy Johnson, Kid Craze, Jamie Blaze. Shout outs to, I mean, that channel has like a couple of like the Young Bucks matches. I'm not going to watch them because, yeah, but it's wild that backyard footage of those guys exists. They have like a documentary, which is fucking funny because it's like a completely self-unaware backyard version of the rise and fall of ECW. And there's another SoCal backyard wrestling documentary that's like 20 minutes long that they pull some clips from for that documentary. There's the backyard, the one with like the lizard. Everybody remembers that one, 2002. I know I've talked about it on the show before, but I'm going to reiterate this. About it's 2016, so 11, 12, 13 years ago, I tried to start a podcast that was like a Where Are They Now of the people from the backyard.
yeah.
The only person that I could get to respond to me was the lizard, who was working as a cab driver and was so fucking flaky that when I finally got a recording, like I got software to record a Skype call, this fucker just would not answer the phone anymore. The 3 Stages of Hell Part 2 guys both left me on red. Chaos from HIW, that guy responded to me a couple of times and then just stopped responding. Scar, who has passed on, unfortunately, we did find his obituary. That's how we found out, because we were just trying to look him up because like they say his actual name in that documentary, and he lived in Arizona, so it's like just do a Google search and see what happens. That dude got into the video game industry and worked at fucking Activision, which blew my mind. I was like, taken, like they specifically in his obituary cited like he worked on like Call of Duty and shit, and it's like this guy was like an internet deathmatch legend in like 2001. And he worked on COD. God bless. I couldn't find any of the upstate New York kids from that, and like the British kids, I'm assuming all used assumed identities. Because I looked, and either they never got on social media or they just didn't give their real names. But I was so fascinated because it's a look at like people that were hopefuls in the early 2000s, like in the waning days of the boom period, because that's filmed in '01. The Lizard goes to the Tough Enough season 2 tryout. You even see like their audition tapes for like him and the two brothers. And the two brothers, those guys would get booked now just based off of those, like, oh, you ask why I want to be in the WWF, what I have to offer, heart and determination. Like that would get you booked everywhere now in the indies. The Lizard was the one who was like, look at me, I'm a fucking weirdo. That shit would get you booked on the indies now. The Lizard should have had a run in the 2000s comparable to all the meme fuckers that we had during the pandemic. Like the Lizard could have been the warhorse of the 2000s, bro. He probably would have been a better wrestler too. But I had questions specific for each of them, and like I was so mad I never got to do that because there's like an interesting story there with all of those guys. Like the two brothers that were doing Three Stages of Hell Part 2 both served time like in the military. And obviously the backyard comes out in a post 9/11 world. I think both of them served. So like the obvious question, did the time spent over there, put things in perspective and you didn't want to pursue pro wrestling anymore? Like, because most of these fuckers on there talk about like turning pro, like the HIW guys, the Arizona Deathmatch Company. One of the girls mentions, I want to go indie with these guys, which was like all the skater kids I knew during that era talking about getting sponsored. It was the pie in the sky dream. And it sucks that there's no follow up to that. Cause like the guy who ran HIW, it was a legitimate deathmatch company in I think like the Scottsdale, Arizona area, maybe Tempe. And I think they stopped running shows finally, but they were running shows at like a bar, like outdoors. And there's like footage of the shit on YouTube, or at least there was. And I always wished I could have got that guy to talk to me because we had a lot of mutual friends on Facebook that were all like Big Japan affiliated.
Yeah, makes sense.
So like, did you ever send him a fucking tape, buddy? Because I've seen some of the guys Big Japan have booked in the 24 years since the Backyard came out. You aren't as bad as some of them.
Maybe it's time to try like finding these guys again.
God, I mean, they didn't want to talk to me 10 fucking years ago. I don't know if they'd want to talk to me now. I feel like also that would have to be a video podcast.
Yeah. Well, is the director around anyway?
I never tried to find the person that did the documentary. No. As I sit here, I can't remember who the hell it was anyway. But but like I really, 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 I can't emphasize this enough. Really, really wanted to get that out there because when I came across that documentary, my friends had seen it, but they forgot about it, and we all kind of we all rewatched. I watch that documentary like 8 times a year. My friend Doug, who insists he listens to the show, but I know he doesn't, can tell you like every 6 to 8 weeks, I'm just like, y'all want to watch The Backyard? And then we do, and we make the same jokes in the same spot every fucking time because it's it's a comforting thing to do at this point. And I just wish we had more of a look because like that one's really good at showing you a couple of different areas. But it's like the SoCal scene is the most heavily documented one. There had to have been a similar scene in Philly. There had to. You gonna tell me Matt Tremont wasn't bumping on shit in a fucking like a backyard before he went and got trained? And I'm not even knocking Matt Tremont. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Tremont as a wrestler. But like, you gonna tell me he was going to the ECW or the CZW arena? I'm sorry, just show respect to Zandig. You mean tell me he was going to that arena to watch CZW, but he wasn't going and fucking reenacting that with his buddies? Come on. You don't think there were like fucking weirdo hillbillies in Florida doing backyard wrestling?
I'm reading about some of the people on Reddit. So Mario Ponce, who was Scar, he's still acting. He was in a movie.
Scar's name was Matthew like Hogan or something like that.
This is Scar Mario Ponce. I don't know how you'd say it. According to this, according to IMDb, he was in a movie this year called History: The Life of David Trujillo.
I'm telling you, that's not the guy.
What'd you say his name was?
Like Matthew Hogan or something like that. Because they say his name. His name is not Mario.
No, I'm
Yeah, I
just
just found an
looking.
article. It's Matthew Scar Haugen, Haugen.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Yeah, IMDb's a fucking. IMDb used to be the shit for finding like actual cast notes and stuff. Now
Yeah, it's gotten pretty bad.
it's really fucking weird. Well, it's owned by Amazon, right?
Yeah. There's another
Big
guy,
tech companies ruin everything.
um, got Ryan Paulson. He seems like he does some different stuff. He was in like a Batman Heart of Ice in the editorial department.
Let me take a look at this now because I'm curious if
Bunch of
they have
like
any of these actual people's real names.
bunch of like horror movie stuff.
The
He's in
Lizard Self.
he's Carnage.
Uh, I don't think there's anybody in this documentary named Carnage.
The hell?
The guy who's listed as being Scar, that is absolutely not him. There's a guy called the R Word Butcher. That is an actual character in the movie. He's wearing a little like ironed on T-shirt gimmick that says "I put the S in the R word and I will beat your meat" because it's 2001. His mom starts fucking interrupting the match and throwing light tubes over a fence onto like the end of a cul-de-sac, which is probably some sort of a fucking public health violation.
Oh yeah, I think so.
She like fucking takes over and starts talking about how you shouldn't let your children backyard wrestle because they have mental problems and they're hurting their bodies as her son is running a spot in the background.
Where did he get this information of for like that guy not to be Scar, but like have a whole listing of different shit he's been in? That's like crazy inaccurate.
Yeah, I don't know.
It says
I
this guy
also,
named Carnage was in the game.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe just like a clip or something.
Yeah, I don't know where they got this guy was in the backyard because he's 100% not.
Weird.
And they don't even have the entirety of the cast listed here because there's like the one dude that was wrestling in like the Jeff Hardy fishnets. His name was Heartless. He's not listed here. Scar isn't listed here. No, Scar is listed here. Is the wrong guy. Chaos is listed here. Oh no, Heartless is here too. They don't have fucking ADD Dave listed. I'd love to know who the fuck that was.
I like how Scott Ryan Paulson is the only one listed under stunts.
Yeah, this is so weird. Like, I mean, anybody can edit this shit, but like,
Yeah,
why
it's
would
just
you
like
attach somebody to
exactly.
this of all fucking things?
I don't know. Weird.
Ah, God, has anything else been announced or shown or anything like that today? I feel like Toy Fair's been open for almost 2 hours. Let me see if Zombie added anything else to
I
this.
saw the major bendies, Sabu and Joey Janela from Sabu's last match.
I just saw that. I hate that that's being. Oh, there's the Arsenio Macho King. It's just a repaint of the Macho King they were doing for Wrestling Collector Shop, but again, I can't even imagine what the fucking paint on that thing cost.
There's a picture of Keiji Muto signing a bunch of autographed cards for WWE.
Well, that's crazy because he's signing somebody else's name. He's forging the
I
Great
know,
Muta's
right?
signature.
That's well, it's hard to get the demon world, you know. Things have to. Hey, he's selling suits by the looks of it. Moto offers suits and it's got the bear on the inside.
Is he selling the like weird fleshlight things that were sponsoring All Japan for a minute?
I don't think he's selling those. Imagine if they had put his face on them.
That'd be a little bit of a distraction, I'd imagine. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything new has been shown to this point on at the Toy Fair
No.
that would be relevant. I honest to God thought that Dolph Ziggler Major Stars was a Triple H in SummerSlam '98 gear, which is probably the intention of that particular gear design. Oh, they're doing a Major Star of Ric Flair. That's kind of cool.
Did we see
I don't.
the Silent Hill yesterday from Zombie?
Is there a clear look at them now? Because there was one video
Yeah,
where the guy was like whipping the fucking camera around, and I was like,
the major podcasters post up on Twitter. You get a good look at them.
God forbid they post that on their fucking Instagram.
It seems
Oh, I found it. It's on their Instagram.
specifically to have a license for that movie.
And not the game.
It's a very weird thing because it seems like people hated that movie.
I haven't heard anything about it. It wouldn't shock me if the movie sucked.
Just the word coming out of it is just like it's really, really, really bad. And I mean, he specifically made a figure of the main actor in it, and that just seems like a hard sell if people didn't enjoy that performance.
Oh boy, more MLB Macho Man figures are coming. We're getting Mets, Dodgers, and Yankees Macho Man because we're gonna make 1 million Macho Mans in MLB team colors using that mold, but not an actual electric cowboy one. I mean, do what you got to do, I guess. I mean, these Silent Hill figures look very detailed. It's a zombie sailor line, but Q4 2026. That's a little optimistic there, buddy.
Yeah, that was I don't know what he thought with signing that one. Like again, like the the video games, cool, but like that movie specifically is just like, ugh, I don't know.
Oh, there's a Buffalo Bill Silence of the Lambs figure, and it looks like another Hannibal Lecter's on the way because he has the card back on display for that as well.
Mm.
I really do like that Major Stars Nature Boy figure. It looks pretty cool. He's in the light blue with the darker blue knee pads and boots, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I need it. It looks cool though. It's also wild that there are 2 Joey Janela figures being shown at Toy Fair, but no AEW figures.
Yeah, it's funny how things work out.
Yeah, it's crazy to think. I mean, maybe there's some like quote unquote collector fucking vault opened like last year, but I don't know. And I'm not entirely sure I care if they reveal any more AEW figures at this point. Like I kind of just want AEW to find a new like licensee
Yeah.
and just move on, I guess. But that'll probably do us for this time. It'll be 2 weeks before we're back in the saddle, probably, because I work next weekend. I'm off Friday, so there's that. I don't know what our topic's going to be next time. We might just ramble about bullshit that's happened in the ensuing 2 weeks. I mean, there's going to be KWK stuff from today and probably other stuff being brought out for Toy Fair. Especially, they might, just because it's still open on Monday and Tuesday, they might think there's going to be more traffic and put stuff out on Monday. I don't know. I feel like we've covered everything though. And that Bastante Bueno thing really has me kind of fired up. Today's been a good day.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about anything 2K related when we've talked about Bastante Bueno today. I'd rather not.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about how stupid I think that custom CM Punk arena is in the showcase mode,
Yeah.
or how low effort that whole thing kind of feels. So yeah, until next time, take care, stay safe, and don't be an asshole.